The most wonderful time of the year. Although, let's be honest, around the holidays, things really add up. But here's the good news. Only at Verizon, you can get a single line for $50 per month when you switch and bring your phone. So while ice skating for two is definitely costing more, here at Verizon, you can save. Gifts for your third cousins? Steep. A single line with Verizon? Not so steep. A real tree? Pricey. A single line with Verizon? Less pricey. Flights to see Mima and Pops? Those are up. A $50 per month single line? That's down. Even a trip to the Atlanta Holiday Market will cost you more. But with Verizon, you can switch and bring your phone for just $50 per month for a single line on unlimited welcome, with autopay plus taxes and fees. All this to say, during the holiday season, when everything is costing more, you can get more for less right now at a local Verizon store. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G, 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
Jingle, jing, jingle, what fun it is. 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 Jingle, jing, jingle, what fun it is.
Welcome to the 2023 FOH Draft. Jeremy Dobbin here with the FOH committee. Of course, we got Rich Latta, James Boyd, and the young boy, Josh Smith. Guys, happy FOH season.
Man, 7th one. I'm already feeling it like Jay-Z, on Reasonable Doubt. I'm so happy to be here to reflect on the year with you guys and in person, FOH, the in person, I haven't done a podcast in person with anyone since the last FOH, I believe. So if anyone ever wants to be on FOH in the future, you got to be here in person. That's right. If you're in Australia, Sam Brown, you got to fly your ass over here. Floyd Johnson, you got to fly down here.
Yo. Floyd will 100% show up if you put out the bat signal. He'll show up.
Caleb Baldwin, you have to get a connecting flight and get your ass down here.
Are you implying that he can't drive or fly direct?
That's absolutely what I'm implying. That man, look, that is. People talk about flyover country. Sometimes I call it casserole country. Casserole country Caleb. He had to fly his ass down here. Have to ride somewhere and find a connecting flight, like probably Atlanta to finally get to Tampa. Yes.
Bring it over.
I had to explain to Megan recently what a casserole was. Like,
what?
She didn't know what a casserole was. And I had to explain, how? Because she's...
Before we get to it, look, I understand you're Midwestern or whatever else. Look. Casserole is good as fuck. Casserole is potluck, is leftover stuff you put together and throw together. In a pinch, it is good as hell. So continue. Go ahead.
But casserole is technically...
whatever you can make it.
Yeah, a lasagna is a casserole, technically speaking.
Right. When people talk about casserole, I'm like, fuck you mean? Lasagna is good.
Right, but she just didn't know. So I had to kind of explain it because she didn't know. She was like, that's white people food. And I'm like, yeah, it is.
I mean,
she just didn't know what it was.
I understand people make crazy casserole and throw mayonnaise in it or whatever else and fuck it up. But look, with the right ingredients, casserole good as hell.
Rich is one bottle in. He's pouring his first drink of his second bottle right now.
Correct.
We haven't even started the show.
Yes. I usually like to have one full bottle done and time it up before we get to the recording.
I mean, I did that, but maybe it's unfair because I'm so much bigger than y'all. I mean, because normally y'all be like, James drink. I mean, Rich. I'm saying Rich. I pointed at Josh and said Rich. Josh was like, the first ROH we did, you drank 2 whole bottles. Like, I mean, yeah, they're not that big.
For me, if I drink 1 bottle, I'm done. And
you're kind of a lightweight. Historically.
I mean, I'm 4 shots in. I'm feeling it.
Yeah. So what are we all drinking? So we'll start with Jeremy and then come to me and James and Josh.
So I got 3 daughters. The raspberry lemonade hard cider. It's really good.
Okay. Yeah, how many times have you done hard cider? on the show on
It's been the last few years. So normally I do the Angry Orchard, and I get like the assorted pack with the strawberry and the mango.
Didn't you do Yingling one year?
No, I've never done Yingling.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we ever thought it that hard before.
Yeah. Like, imagine just doing FOH just all straight Bud Lights, bro. That shit would be like,
bro. We should do.
You'd waste so much money.
Yeah.
Next year, let's just all do Bud Light. Let's get like.
Speaking of that, sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
No, that was it.
Okay, Josh. Sorry. I already earlier in the show pointed at Josh and said Rich. Now I'm looking at Rich and saying Josh. I don't know what's going on.
You're drunk.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. So. Rich, look, we need to talk to Rich in our previous lives. We're better now. We're above this now. We don't do this anymore. But in our previous lives, we were all about that Yingling life. We were also about that 211 still reserve life. God. We was living rough.
I don't know what is that?
211 still reserve.
Tell him.
Marcus McNeil.
Yeah. Yes. Marcus Money McNeil. Bring your ass to the stage. You had us living terrible.
Yo.
You had us living terrible.
211 still reserve is like the bottom of the bottom beer. Like the only thing that's possibly worse.
Natty Light?
Is hurt. No, Natty Light is higher than that.
Way better.
The only thing that's in
211 reserve class, is like the stuff that the bums come to
the bums come in there and be like, yeah, this makes me feel like something.
Oh
like,
my God.
The only thing that's close is the Hurricane beer. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Nah.
Okay.
Watch
it's Hurricane and
There's
211.
a hurricane
keep in
coming
mind,
through.
Rich used to work. Hold on, keep in mind, Rich used to work at a Publix. Publix is a regional grocery chain in the Southeast through Florida, Georgia, and up to the Carolinas, maybe even Virginia now. So Alabama as well. So yeah, man, like Rich is out here in the you used to tell me in the mornings they come in at 7 when the doors open, and they would go in there and they get their 211, and then they would then proceed to be in the parking lot.
Chilling.
On said 211.
211.
We was drinking the stuff the Bones was drinking.
Yes. Because it was shit. They also drank Foster's and Miller High Life as well, or whatever. But what else do we have?
We were living rough.
Rough. Like it was like, yo, we drink what's available. Like it ain't really about being special, it ain't really about being pristine.
I don't even know what the fuck we did because we drink goose or whatever else. And then
I think it just became a joke after a while.
Actually, I think that's what it was. Our dumbasses, we had to ruin our fucking organs just for the figure joke. We're drinking like,
I don't even know if they make that shit no more.
The bill comes doing that eventually.
But I am drinking now. I have since stepped it up a little.
If we all die before 70, let's watch fucking 211. We're all for some fucking gag.
I'm drinking what I drank last year, of course. FOH 2022 legendary show. So people say. If you haven't heard it, check it out. San Sebastian Vintner's Red, straight out of St. Augustine, 11% red wine, and it is something. I won't lie.
Speaking of last year's show, I could do an incredible Rich impersonation at the end of the show.
Let's see it.
Be careful. You drunk. Be careful, white man. Be careful. I'm turning my head to the side. I can turn my head to the side and leave you the side eye. Be careful. Be careful. I can do a great impersonation to black man. Ha ha when I'm drunk. Okay. All right, Michael Scott. We'll see how this fucking goes. We'll see how this goes.
Oh my God.
There was no racial part of it.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm not gonna do it now.
What you mean the people pay for this? People pay for this. Unleash it. Let it out.
Yeah. Ruin your career.
And we ain't done. We ain't done by a long shot.
Keeping it strong style, we have a new co-host this week.
And I don't care.
Like nothing ever happened.
And I don't care who they are. They're not better than us. We out here giving the realest, doing the best. No,
that'd been funny. Like, yeah, new person in here doing this. What we're keeping it strong style is hilarious. Like, you want to imitate Rich, and now Rich is imitating you because he's not a new guest. Also, keeping it strong style. You gotta fill in.
Rich would never do Keeping It Strong style. It would require him to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I didn't say you got me and Rich doing filling duty on the road to the Tokyo Dome. What the fuck is this, Josh? How you gonna imitate us racially? We still gotta be friends. It should be like, hey, it's gonna be okay, but you can't be on the show no more. And then we gotta take over your shift. Goddamn.
Keeping It Strong style has sent
just like a white man making niggas work.
Keeping It Strong style has collectively decided that Joshua Smith should go to sensitivity training. He will be on suspension for the next 6 weeks.
The discipline board at Social Suplex.
Discipline board.
Just call me Jimmy Jacobs.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
James, what you drinking?
Oh, so yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
did I say Susan or champion?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god! All right, so
What are we at, an
on
AEW
Wednesday?
show?
Wednesday was my birthday, and I've been going to this gym, Burn Boot Camp. It's a chain, and the one that I go to is one in Clearwater, Florida. And there are some ladies that have been like very instrumental in making like 2023 for me like more fun or whatever else. So the group of girls that I go to the gym with at the time I go to normally 6:30 in the afternoon, around afternoon, this evening, whatever. So one of them for my birthday, we all got together after that one because I did noon that day. I was like, I'm going early because I can go ahead and do something else, and then I'm going to come back and we can do the whole birthday thing. So one of them was like, I don't know if I can make it or whatever else because work trumps my birthday. That's the real. Like, I'm not a birthday person, really, to be honest with you. Anyway, it's just like people. I tend to run into a group of like great friends and people in my life that care about me and care about my birthday, and like, oh, that's really cool. So y'all want to celebrate? Let's celebrate. I'm with it. So to get to the point, she showed up, Jordan, lovely Jordan Hunter, and she came through like 'cause she couldn't make it. She came through a little late and still came through with a bottle for me. It was called Mason de Medellin. It's Brut Rosé. And shout out to Jordan for giving me a nice bottle of this wine. It did not taste great, but I still drank that whole motherfucking thing. I'm drunk right now. So shout out to Jordan. Nice.
Oh, gets the job done.
Yes, gets the job done in a pinch. Absolutely. So that bottle gone.
All right.
Big gump.
I am drinking this year a holiday gin and tonic. Basically, that's cranberry and lime mixed with G&T. And it is really, really
What
good.
do you infuse it with this year?
I didn't infuse any alcohol this year, although I did the last 2 years. But I'm glad that I did get roasted for bringing an entire mixology kit with me.
Yes.
As opposed to the thing that I would normally get roasted for, which is just having a mustache, which didn't happen. And so bringing this kit was an elaborate way to deflect from the normal insults I'd get from James, which I didn't get.
Now, I like how this is a me thing.
It is a you thing.
It's a me thing?
It's a you thing.
See, I'm your real friend. I'm actually saying this shit to your face. Hey, man, what the fuck is y'all? What the fuck is Rich? Hey, James, what the fuck is going on with the mustache? And, hey, man, like, I'm going to say something that's funny and whatever. But anyway, so that's not really what happened. But anyway, so I get to the spot that we were recording from, and then I see bartender Joshua Smith working on something like he's Tom Cruise in what's the name? Cocktails. Yeah. So like, bro, what's going on? Are you this ain't your house? So how you just the MC making all these? How you out here making these drinks in this person's house like this? What's going on? And he goes like, yeah, I brought a bag. I'm like, God damn it, Josh, you brought a fucking bag. You brought your you made another elaborate fancy ass drink. Is it good?
It's so good. This is the best
At
drink.
least it's good. Because
It's dangerous because I'm
Because a
too
couple years, it was like, yeah, man, I ain't really feeling this.
Yeah, he later admitted to us that like the ones he's made before where he's infused drinks with gummy bears. Shocker,
prepping the drink for 48 hours
with
and
Sour
shit.
Patch Kids, right?
Yeah, and that one was really good, but the year before wasn't so good.
Yeah, so all this time, all this prep, and he was out here baking a cake. He didn't even know if it tastes good. He's just out here just for the one time of the year he had to drink on something nasty. So I'm glad it tastes good this year. So I'm glad for you. I just wish that like you didn't do this stuff, but whatever. Yeah, that's what makes you you. So like whatever. We in a time where like we've been friends for how long now? Like it's time to accept everybody and their foibles. And Josh got lots of foibles. I point him out and laugh at him, but I love Josh. So let's go.
We've been friends since 2012. This is like 11 years.
Yeah. So last year we did FOH at our boy Zach Porter's crib. Big shout out to him.
What's up, Zach?
He bought pizza for us and hosted us very well. This year we're at my in-laws, the Allens, and they put us up in a nice wide open space, and we're chilling out here. So we're gonna have some fun here, man. I'm so happy to be doing the show with you guys.
Not too much goddamn fun, but we want to have some fun.
I mean, I'm not driving, so I'm gonna have some fun. But I'm gonna go make a drink. But I guess I'll kick it to Rich since you're first.
Grab me a cider
right.
in there.
No.
Yeah.
What was the question? What was the question?
Ask him to grab me another cider.
Okay, so Josh, for you, because I have finished that bottle of the mediocrity that Jordan gave me. Is there any chance she ain't gonna hear this? It's behind the paywall. She don't listen to shit. Anyway, whatever. Like I love her. She gave me this. I appreciate it. It was good. Anyway, if you make one of those drinks, one of those fancy boy drinks, you have another. Do you have another mason jar?
I'll get you a drink.
Okay. But yeah, please don't put it in a mason jar because I don't want to be like you. But can I have something? Can I have one of those? Except without the full presentation of the pretentiousness. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. He's gone. I think I heard his feelings.
Oh my gosh.
That's what this ass get. This man brought a mason jar for his drink. He could just bring a regular glass. He always doing too much.
Oh my gosh.
The yoke boy Josh Smith.
So yeah, so this is the FOH draft. If you're new, welcome. Hopefully you.
We haven't even started. This is 17 minutes of incredible audio.
Hopefully you paid because this is behind a paywall.
Yes.
You know, it's a holiday season.
Yes, I ain't got no tolerance for nobody freeloading this show. If I find out you stealing this shit, if I see your shit come through with 000 on it, I'm gonna send you an email back and be like, "Hey, bro,
nah, man, delete that download.
Let me get that back. Like, email me the show back."
That is a fucking.
You could be blocked from PayHip.
Wait, you actually see who gave you 0?
You can.
Yeah,
Oh my god, this shouldn't be allowed. That's terrible.
We see everybody's amount with their name.
All right. Confession time.
Sure.
Confession time.
Sure.
Okay. So, this Thanksgiving, I ran the turkey trot in Clearwater, Florida. It's a annual 1 mile or 5K and it's ran by I think like something like the Western Florida Run Committee or some shit. Like obviously I'm saying wrong, but it's like Western Florida something that runs races or whatever else for charity or whatever else. So the entry fee is like $30 or $40 or $30 to $35 based off of like to get your t-shirt or whatever else, and then you can run the race or whatever else. So you can get registered and all that kind of stuff. You get your tag and all that kind of stuff.
Registered?
And then, not that kind of registered. Not red dot on the map registered. Relax. Anyway, so they then said like for me it was like on the things like, yeah, we like donate towards whatever the cause. I'm like, bro, I don't know what the cause is for turkey trot. I don't see anything for try to cure blindness or anything for trying to cure cancer or leukemia or any type of like, you know, like
leprosy.
I don't see none of that. I don't know if it's trying to teach the kids how to read, none of that. Or, you know, I don't see none of that. Dyslexia, none of that. I don't see what is this for? Donation what? Oh, okay. So I saw the option that said you can make your donation anonymous. Okay, anonymous, 0. I'm like, hey man, I don't know what you're trying to cure. I'm with you, but you ain't telling me what you're trying to cure. I can't help you.
They're trying to cure poverty.
I I know what we trying to cure. We trying to cure these bills. You know, this bandwidth.
The gimmicks that come in the mail.
Yeah.
Right. So like, so your whole thing was like, hey, man, you know, donations or whatever else. So like, hey man, like you gotta be careful to make sure your shit is anonymous. If you go zero, because Rich look, you go zero here, Rich gonna find you. I made sure my shit's anonymous, and the person is zero, and they get through this shit so I can run your little 5K race.
Oh my gosh! All right, so how's it all gonna go down? We're each gonna go around and draft something that we want to give the FOH to. And this year we got Rich is gonna be opening us up with the first round draft pick.
My nigga Josh.
Thank you, sir. So we'll do
Can't do the drink.
2 rounds, and then after the 2 rounds, we'll do like a rapid fire round.
The lightning round.
Yeah, just kind of go off. So, Rich, without further ado, go ahead and kick us off. The first pick in the first round of the 2023 FOH Draft.
There are so many great options on this thing, but man, there's been one man that has dominated the wrestling news cycle, ran an assault, embarrassed himself, embarrassed his fans, turned his fans into a cult.
Jim Cornette.
Not him. But,
Not this time.
look, not this time, but they all kind of work in conjunction.
Before you draft it, I just want to say I'm on drink number 3 for the count, for the show.
Me too.
CM Punk, bring your ass to the stage.
Oh.
The number 1 pick. So, CM Punk at one time was one of my favorite wrestlers in his prime in WWE. And I thought he was a great talker. I thought he was someone that would single-handedly make you watch the show for him, because they started those 3-hour shows in 2012, and man, they filled them shits with trash. And
Yeah.
if you saw CM Punk, you guarantee that there was going to be some quality that came from him.
Yep. There's 3 people saving that show all 3 hours.
And
John Cena and CM Punk and whatever Daniel Bryan was doing.
yep, and this whole thing with him coming into AEW now. Everybody knows what happened last year. We drafted CM Punk last year and told him to get the fuck out of here. It only got worse in 2023. Can you imagine that?
This is part 2.
This is part 2.
And I feel like there's going to be others.
The remix.
Yes. This motherfucker like came out here. They built a show around this guy.
Show did.
They came out here and it was trouble from that. He wouldn't shut the fuck up about Hangman Page.
So
in the ESPN interviews. They gave him his own show. He was cutting promos on people for programs that were never going to happen. Like everything with the Elite. He came out here. He wrestled this old ass 1990s style that was passe. That was 3 stars, 3 1/4 at best. And then people were just so like Tony Khan just bending over backwards all the way so you come out over on the other side to placate this guy that was unplacatable. I don't know if that's a word or not, but this motherfucker will come out on TV and just start cutting. Big CM, we called him, Jen. Big CM, we got to clear everything through Big CM.
Yeah, I was proud of Big CM. I was proud of that one. Yeah.
And he just kept. Of course, he got into fights originally. We got to deal with the with the fight last year in the press conference, and that bled into this year with the start of Collision. People getting banned from the shows. People not being allowed to come to the shows. And we saw how that show, like we saw the writing on the wall for what it would be. And Collision right now looks like an overall negative in the AEW portfolio. Why? Because this guy was like, yeah, they can build the show around this guy that apparently is not volatile, not somebody that is, trustworthy.
Solid. Sturdy.
Correct. Someone that is sturdy. Apparently not. He was setting up all these feuds that he was not doing and feuding with all these people on the show, Ricky Starks, Samoa Joe, and it all was leading to nothing really.
Yeah, Gun Club.
All those 6-mans with FTR.
Yeah, man. And it was just like, it culminated at Wembley Stadium with the fight with Jack Perry.
Real glass.
Real glass.
Cry me a river.
Cry me a river.
Yeah. Shout out to Jack Perry, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jack
I
Perry.
can't wait till he's back. But
maybe he's already back.
Maybe he is.
Don't do this. But we'll save it.
But CM Punk was fired with cause, rightfully, by recommendation of the discipline committee.
Thank you, Brian Danielson.
With Brian Danielson, legal professionals, and all these people making this recommendation to Tony Khan. Tony Khan comes out here, fires this man in Chicago. How is this not gangster?
Hey.
People act like this didn't happen, by the way.
No. Not only did he fire him in Chicago, he fired him on the Go Home show to one of his pay-per-views. And people say that man's not a promoter. Ain't nothing really promoting than that. I'm firing this nigga. Watch the show. Buy pay-per-view.
And then they have one of the best shows of the year, and it's like, go to hell, CM Punk. But in that,
an all-time fucking we ball moment.
He couldn't stay off Instagram the whole year doing his little shots. He's doing these promos after the show about Hangman Page. He's basically coming out here and through there, he basically, I don't know how to describe it. Like, he gets fired for one.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like he influences these his fans. Like, it's almost like a cult. It's like FTR on almost, but worse.
Do you think you up the base like that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. He's whipped up the base that he's trying to convince everybody that he was this victim, and like these fans have just gone to another level. And of course, he then turns around, and we all knew this was going to happen on this show. Those of you smart people that are listening to this, he sells his soul to Vince McMahon.
You mean he sucked a blood-covered Saudi dick?
I'm
Something
home.
approaching those words, yes.
He
He's home.
he's broke, so he has to go ahead and go over there for that fat check, completely sell his morals, and he has to basically sell everything and come out there and cut a soulless promo on Monday Night Raw. Man, when he came back on Survivor Series, you could have swore like AEW was dead. You could have logged online and you would have thought, "Oh man, it's over now." It's over. The great CM Punk has killed this bro. And I'm like, look, man, can we be honest about CM Punk in 2023? This nigga's 45 years old, washed, cutting promos with no fucking passion on him. This motherfucker's coming out there. He can do what he does over there. But as a contemporary main eventer right now, he's not on the level. John Smith called this shit in 2021.
If I ever go back to WWE, I will see that as a personal moral failure.
All right, so I'm still stuck on the shit y'all said where he's like, I'm home, and like, I feel like I was the only person that was on it when Moxley, like, in the lead up to their back-to-back matches in that 1 week, was like, "You're broke," and I was like, "Hey man, Moxley, he said that for a reason. Moxley don't just be saying shit, there's no reason. I'm not saying he's saying it like to get CM Punk's go, whatever his financial situation is, whatever it is, but like, you look at, if you just go through like the moves that he's made, like let's say 2019 CM Punk. To do it now, he's back there. It's like he's doing this for money. Yeah. He's doing this for money.
So are we. That's why we're doing this show.
What I'm trying to get is like, look, everyone does it for money, but you see the things he's doing is like, I want to do it for money. I want to do it here because I can know that like I can just like put it, in second gear, third gear, and still make money and keep the cash flowing. Just like Big Randy, right? So it's this weird thing of how this all has worked out. But like the funniest part is when you just said the "I'm home" part. In my mind, like you said "I'm home," I heard everybody talk about that promo before, and I've watched myself, and like a lot of stuff that y'all talked about and pointed out that y'all laughed at, I think is just as insincere as y'all pointed out to be. At the same time, I'm watching and seeing how he's delivering it. I'm like, he's still so fucking good. That's why this has to annoy people so much. It's like, he's insincere as all fuck right now. He hates where he's at right now, but he's still so fucking good at this. Like he's lying through his eyes, and he's still better than 99.9% people that has ever done this shit. And when he said that I'm home, I'm in my mind, I'm thinking like, close open parentheses, I'm broke, close parentheses. Like, he said, I'm home, I'm broke. I'm broke.
That man has to walk backstage and be like, "Triple H, sir, did I do a good job?"
Mr. H.
You mean
Mr. H?
Mr. Levesque? Before we move on, James, how's that GNT?
What?
That GNT I made for you. How is that?
I haven't tried it yet.
Bro, try
when you
it.
said GNT, I'm like, wait, what? What's going on? Okay, let's do that. Let's do that.
Talk to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to him and
Let him know.
This man was disruptive to not only his career, but many other people around him that are going to like now carry this resentment on them, like Jack Perry, like the Young Bucks.
Yep.
I don't know
Hangman.
about Kenny so much.
Hangman.
Hangman for sure. Hangman for sure. Even though
Don't forget Hangman. That's the motherfucker that got the worst.
Even though Hangman's never said nothing about this man in public, like afterwards,
All
never
Hangman
did
do
nothing.
is be unproblematic and ball. That's all that man do. Look, he annoys me sometimes when they push him at the top and he like goes in the high note or whatever. But like whenever they give him the shot, he balls.
Like, I can't believe that CM Punk has ended up back in WWE.
That's
And
pretty good, right?
And
yeah,
the great part is like his fans got to drop their draws for WWE once again, and I know they don't like it. I know they hate it.
I don't. Because I'm out here thinking about something like, hey man, it's funny because when we started One Nation Radio, like you were the huge upfront like CM Punk fan, and for me it was like we can't just be a show where we're just all on CM Punk, just being super fans for him, but like that's Rich's thing, and I'll fall back. Same thing with Kenny Omega. Like, I can't just be all like, hey man, he's just one of the greatest of all time. Like I can't say that, but I can't just be like, it turns to a super love fest. Sometimes they be like, all right, I'm gonna get out the way, I'm gonna clear out and let him do his thing. Yeah. So like, we ended up doing the 10-year anniversary show last year about our favorite wrestlers of the era since we did Nation Radio, and like I put CM Punk as high as I think he's second for me. I put him as high as second. I think Rich put him somewhere in his top 10,
like ninth.
Yeah, but because what happened last year was slid him down. Like it never happened. Obviously, you still be in the top. He would have been Rich's top 5. And for me, it's like, yeah, man. Like I'm a huge fan of him to the point where it's like, this fucking guy, Phil Brooks, has to be contemplating tuning in to see what the fuck's going on YouTube on Raw from via YouTube. I like that's how much of a hold he had on me, like, whatever else. Like, as far as I really enjoy what he does with television. And it's like, this man got me going back to watching more of the Fan. God damn it.
Look in my eyes. What do you see? Nothing. There's nothing behind those eyes.
Another look at my eyes. What do you see?
Listen.
Another employee for WWE. At the end of the day, CM Punk is someone. At the end of the day, I said on One Nation Radio, he was looking for the approval of Vince McMahon. He was looking for the
WrestleMania main event,
the knighthood of WrestleMania main event ism. I hope for his sake that he comes out there and he at least gets fulfilled from that end of it.
In night one?
I'm not going to.
In night one?
In night one. Yes, because he will not be in night 2.
He'll get one of those main events.
I'm not going to touch on all the same stuff you guys said, but one reason alone that this guy should get the FOH out of here is because if it wasn't for him, Kevin Owens might be working for AEW right now. This man resigned with WWE so he didn't have to work with that guy. And now he has to work.
That didn't work.
And now he has to work with that guy. Bro, like, listen, I'm not going to pretend like CM Punk isn't a fantastic talker. I'm not going to pretend like he isn't a very good worker or that he isn't a compelling personality, but he is quite literally the most toxic individual in the last decade, and maybe of all, like, he's up there in the pantheon of all-time workers of toxicity. Like, if the story's the same in ROH and IWA Mid-South and...
What? I didn't know about this. Yeah. I take your word for it. We can move on. Sorry.
And in ECW, and in WC, or in WWE, and in AEW, and in, 01, and all the fucking places that this guy's been. It doesn't fucking matter. Maybe a point of self-reflection is warranted to look inward and think, maybe if the same issue occurs every single place I've ever gone, it's just like what Joe and Rich on the flagship said. This man's a black cloud. He casts a black shadow on every place that he goes in a negative, toxic way. And literally, when people talk about the downturn of AEW, when they talk about the decrease of viewership and people watching and people attending and passion and the creative direction, it is all directly tied to Brawl Out. It all is directly tied to this man's politicking and this man's negativity and him sowing discord amongst the talents and amongst the shows and everything that he did with Collision and everything like that. Like, he just fucking sucks. Like, this is part 2 of what I did last year when we drafted this guy. And yeah, he fucking sucks.
Jeremy, you haven't jumped in.
Yeah, man. It's funny when I think about CM Punk. My wife's been watching wrestling with me, and I'll fill her in on some of the dirt sheet stuff that's going in. And for those who don't know, my wife, she's a licensed mental health counselor.
God, where is it? I can't wait to see where this goes.
Therapist. So when I tell her about it, I told her about Brawl Out, and this is a shoot. Like, this is not a storyline.
This is not fake. I told Catherine the same shit. She immediately thought it was fake. She was like, "Oh, this will work." I was like, "Nah." I'm
like, "Yeah, this is a shoot." Like, his homeboy bit Kenny Omega. Like, this is real.
Bit my dog.
Yeah, like, here you gotta talk to him like the Eddie Kingston. This is real life.
and then you hear the news like, "Oh, he's getting his own chips." She's like, after that behavior, she's like, they're just gonna bend over and reward him his own show. He's gonna come out here with this fake title. Like,
I forgot about that.
I didn't.
It's like,
I was expecting to see him on the show. What
like, why are they rewarding him for this horrible behavior? Like, why is he getting all this sway? And it's like, you look at it, it's like, man, like, how much of a mark is Tony Khan sometimes to
big, large.
Like, we all like CM Punk. He was all influential in our wrestling viewing, but I'm sorry, I'm running a company, and your homeboy is biting people, you're fighting people, you're throwing shit at me backstage in gorilla position. Like, of course you're getting out of here. Like,
you gotta go.
He dropped fucking like TVs on the dude's head.
Yeah, like. The fact that there need to be like a whole investigation and a committee,
they gave him so much more rope.
Don't go nowhere, Josh. Stay there.
They gave him so much more rope
don't go nowhere.
than people act like they gave him. Like, they went through a full investigation. They put together a committee. They had Tony Khan basically come in front of the people and be like, "It was my decision." All these things that people act like didn't happen because they're fucking conspiracy theorists and they have this blind loyalty and this love to CM Punk.
Yeah.
Where it clouds their judgment. Where it's like, yo, an adult doesn't act like this, let alone a professional wrestler, let alone a top star, let alone a self-proclaimed leader and all this shit. Like, people don't act like this.
Nah, Josh, come back. Come back. Just wait. Just wait. Give me like 30 seconds. Hold on.
But yeah, so I'll see. I'm glad that he's gone from AEW. I don't watch WWE. I'm not gonna watch WWE. So I'll hear what y'all tell me, what Meltzer tells me about these deadlist promos, these horrible matches. He's probably gonna go out there, wrestle Roman, main event of Saudi Arabia, eat the spear. Eat the thumb from
it's gonna be nasty.
Yeah.
Swallowing Spike.
Once his job start getting done, it's gonna be nasty.
Nasty. All right. So earlier when Josh was talking about CM Punk, he was mentioning how all this stuff was a black cloud and black everything and negativity. And I was like, hey bro, why everything black got it? Why everything negative got to be black? What's going on, man? What's happening? I know that was 5 minutes ago, but I ain't that drunk enough. I forgot that shit. Not put that. Hey man, why? Look, I understand. I get it. Like, this has happened. Like, we light and dark, and people do this as far as like thematically or whatever else. Like, shout out to Cody Rhodes and Malachi Black. But what's going on? You all right?
You just answered it.
You don't know?
Thematic.
That's all it was?
That's all it was.
All right. Maybe make sure I ain't nothing in this drink. But okay. All right.
Wait, you mean Josh isn't black?
What? not with that stash. Not with that mustache. Only nigga with mustache like that, bro. Last name Murtaugh, they cops and C in the Chicago PD.
I have never pretended like I was black.
It's just inside. All our listeners think you are black because
That's true.
Yeah, there's so many listeners.
So many people think I am.
That get surprised when they find out Josh is not black.
Damn. Why you disappointing people like this? Hit Josh with the hard questions. This is real journalism.
So,
relax, take notes, Booker T.
Oh man,
Phil Brooks, CM Punk. I guess you can get the fuck out of here.
I forgot we were supposed to do that.
Yeah, Damn shame.
All right.
Damn shame.
So,
James.
James, second pick in the first round.
Big
All right.
James.
It's right there. I gotta do it. All right. Whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, yo. Anyway, Vince McMahon reinstalls himself in the board to take control of WWE. This man was gone. He was out of my life. I was happy. Like, I don't remember what planet it was. I'm not, because I love Star Wars, but I'm not that much of a nerd to remember all the planets in the galaxy, right? But after they overthrew, basically General Palpatine, right? Vince McMahon, everybody was partying on indoor. We was having a cookout. We was grilling. Shit was on, we had meat on the grill. We was getting ready to barbecue. We was having fun. It was great. It was joyous. It was a joyous occasion, right? We was out here dancing with the pen or the teddy bears, or whatever else.
Ewoks.
Yes, the Ewoks. Thank you, nerd. Anyway,
You fucking nerd.
like, you ever see me and Jeremy? He knew the name, but I didn't. But I know exactly what you're saying. Ewok, yeah. And I said the planet indoor.
Bro, I have no idea what this brother is talking about.
Anyway,
That was drink time for me.
so we're partying, right? Like, we toppled the evil regime. We partying, right? It's a celebration, bitches.
We
right?
held a party on the timeline. We had a party. We did
we have a party in the street.
We did we did breaking news audio on this man.
Yes, we
Packed
did.
him up, zipped him up, all that.
Out here dancing like Nana,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top row, get your vibe on that. Yeah. Shout out to the Lord. Big pressure they applied. Anyway, so I'm thinking, this is the end, it's over, it's a wrap. Then you hear word like, that it got floated out. He feels, Meltzer mentioned it's like, he feels like he should have just stayed the course. He got bad advice on something like, nah, bro. Ain't no way.
Bro, and I knew he was coming back.
Because that's how this shit goes. Like, when you gauge interest on, like, there's some owner that wants to hire some dude that's unhireable because of whatever scandal or some type of incompetence they've had as a coach or a GM. And he was like, well, he was my mentor 15 years ago for anyone new to the relationship. This is how Isaiah Thomas stays around in these NBA circles, right? Right? Like, he keeps, informing himself with Dolan, even though he's been fired for sexual harassment a decade ago plus. Right? So it's like, nah, bro, ain't no way. I was like, this can't be. Can I snap and wake up out this bad dream? No, it's not happening. Fuck, we're here. It's going to happen. And sure enough, he reinstalls himself. He fires Barry Olsen Wilson. He has in yes men to do what his bidding or whatever else. He brings stuff in. And the whole story is he's going to sell the company. And at first we were like, sure, you're going to sell the company. Jerk off motion, right? Get the fuck out of here. It's not going to happen. And then eventually he did, and he sold it to do the Endeavor merger with UFC. And it's like, okay, so he sold it to the person that's gonna keep him in charge creatively. And I was like, man, this is I thought we were headed upwards and onwards towards a beautiful, brighter, potentially better pro wrestling in America, AmRest, right? Major AmRest. And no, like, this motherfucker will not go out without a fight. He's a motherfucker, and also he's just like General Palpatine. Like, we thought this bitch ass nigga was dead, and all of a sudden, like, nah. Actually, what happens is clones to him. He keeps getting reinvented. Thank you, J.J. Abrams, for episode 9. You jackass.
This
anyway,
man did that
they
shit
brought.
on,
He was dead. He was evil, and he came back anyway.
This
Yo,
man
Vince
did
is a
that
rich-
shit on January 6th too. So
I didn't realize that.
He
That's
was
crazy.
successful.
Yo, Vince is a real Undertaker. That man
Never died.
Man, you're rising up.
Vince McMahon, you rapist, come to the stage.
Yes, you come to the stage, bro. I remember doing a set. It was a solo One Nation Radio when it was like, yeah, man, Vince is coming back, and I blacked out for 20 minutes. Essentially, I was like, this is not right. This is whatever, and people are going to bow to this man for whatever reason, and it was like the one thing I said, yeah, he could do it if he was crazy. He could reinstall the board, and the exact scenario played out that I was like, yeah, if he's nuts, he'll do that. And that fucking happened.
Right.
Bro, he's a sociopath. Of course he did.
So it was like, and now people aren't even thinking about Vince McMahon because maybe his power.
He's been defanged so much because people were like, "Hey, we bought this company, and the company's not like nearly as successful as he was." Like, "Hey, man, hey Vince, get the fuck out of here, no man, you fucking this up. You ain't doing well." So now Triple H is actually in charge finally, which I'm actually kind of like, well, I had the vision about this shit like about 6 years ago, just like everybody else.
I'm glad to do this show just because of the fact that I get to hang out with you guys and I get to drink and we get to entertain the fans. But like I told Rich before we did the show, I'm not filled with that much vitriol because a lot of these people FOH themselves and Vince already FOH'd himself.
That's true.
He fought.
we FOH Vince like every year of the show.
Every year.
He always has some evil shit. Bitch ass nigga.
And this man had to leave because of all the rapes and everything. And then he found a way to get himself back. But guess what? He's not back because they're still getting sued. They're still getting SEC injunctions. They're still getting all this stuff against them.
Man don't care about none of that.
Yeah.
And that broke this week, right?
And this man literally was selling off a huge portion of his stock just to tank the fucking shareholder stocks just to show what his power actually is because he's not in power because he's a huge liability. It's literally like if you follow what like Endeavor and those guys do, they're much less forthcoming with their information during quarterly reviews and everything like that than the WWE was, previously. But they've literally gone on statement and said like, yeah, outstanding liability, Vincent McMahon. We're passing everything to Nick Khan, passing everything to Triple H. This man's already FOH'd himself. But the fact that he was even able to do what he did and bypass the bylaws and literally get himself into a fraudulent deal just so he could maybe regain some semblance of power is egregious. And the fact that fans of WWE and wrestling in general give him the pass on this is bullshit and disgusting. So fuck you, Vince McMahon, and fuck you, WWE fans that love this guy. He sucks.
Yeah, if you out here putting your head on the ground like you're praying towards Mecca when Vince McMahon comes.
Oh my God.
If you're doing that, you can kiss my ass.
Yeah, I don't understand people's, love and affinity for Vince. Like I get it.
The raper.
Literally.
I get it. He was ahead of this thing that we all grew up on. We all, watched the Attitude Era, and we have all these memories, and we love.
You don't look at him as a father?
No, he's not Christian Cage.
Jeremy has one father, and I met him.
Hey, Catherine.
What's up, Cap?
What's
She has locked the door. She's like, no, you will not hear audio recordings of his voice. As if she's not on the tags. As if she's not on the production tag. All right.
Jeremy has one father, and I met him.
Yeah, got to hit with that Kyrie Irving to set him straight.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Like, you can like professional wrestling and not have to love Vince McMahon and bat out on him. And, hopefully this will be the last time that we have to draft him, but I doubt it. I'm sure something else will come up.
Hopefully he dies.
Oh my!
I was just get it out there right now.
Yo, when he dies,
this isn't somebody like fuck that. My dad died this year. Like, how the fuck did my dad come out here and die before Vince McMahon? Vince McMahon's a decade older than him. He can go. Like he's contributed enough.
Vince McMahon's gonna die, and then a whole year later, we're gonna be like, Vince McMahon, you can get the fuck out of here.
Fuck.
Forever.
You're making that grim, but shit, get the fuck out of here, Vince.
James's disapproving look.
I can't top that. He got it.
Well, on that note, Vincent Kennedy McMahon,
get the fuck out of here. Again.
For the seventh year in a row.
Seventh year.
The Hall of Fame, FOH Hall of Famer.
That's a good one. That's a very good point. Inaugural class. Absolutely. Vince McMahon.
Oh my God.
Man.
Young boy.
First ballot Hall of Famer, Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yikes.
FOH. I'm like, what the fuck do I wanted to draft those two things. You guys drafted them. So,
they were number two they were the top two on the board.
Yeah, I guess. All right. Here's what I'm going to draft. Let's light it up with limited information about this subject, but it's still something that has literally turned me away from the product. MJF's title reign, all-in main event, bruchacho bullshit, the devil, WWE-ism. You can get the fuck out of here.
Bring it to the stage.
All right, listen. When I first heard about the idea of AEW, when I heard about the idea that they were continuing the draw of All In, I was at All In. I was there.
We were there.
Me and Jeremy were there together.
Yeah.
And I've never, to this day, ever been to any wrestling show that carried the energy and the feeling and the vibe of All In.
It was special.
It was very special. And the fact that those dudes, including Cody, stood in a ring together and said, we're sticking together, and whatever happens next, we're doing it together. And then Tony Khan came aboard, and then Jericho came aboard, and then Britt Baker and the OWE guys, and we were going to see all this, Chinese Matrix wrestling that we never got to see.
We were supposed to see the Joshis flying around like the new cruiserweights. I'm still waiting on that Tony Khan.
Yeah, the Joshis and the Chinese wrestling that we'd never seen before is going to be like the Matrix, but whatever. We were supposed to see this new era of wrestling, and we did. It was incredible. Year over year, month after month.
Literally year after year.
Quarter after quarter, we got incredible wrestling. And then something happened. After the CM Punk shit came, instead of Mox carrying the company with everything that he represents, we got MJF. And bro, let me tell you something. Putting aside a couple great matches that he got carried to by Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega, the two of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Dudes that could walk in this room right now and get 3 stars out of somebody in here.
Fuck this man, bro, because the stuff that now, granted, I will admit there is chemistry between him and Adam Cole. The stuff they were doing on TV was very entertaining.
Yes,
and it might not.
And to be fair, it is popular. It is popular in spite of the ethos of this company.
But when we say it's popular, what we mean is it is popular with those individuals who are attending the shows. And guess what? Since this man got the title, the TV ratings are down.
Yep.
The attendance is down.
Yep.
The pay-per-view numbers are down.
People don't act like it though.
Yeah.
This man is not a fucking draw. And that is the actual reality. Now, I'm not saying he couldn't be, but, for everybody that burned Adam Cole for his quote-unquote failed title run, which produced some of the greatest matches in the history of AEW.
Adam Page.
Oh, my bad.
He said Cole on accident.
I'm drunk.
It is what it is. I'm just making sure.
Page.
Yeah. Just want to
This
correct
pales in comparison because not only did it usher in shitty title defenses, it ushered in shitty title reign, shitty matches on television, shitty storylines, terrible WWEism bloodline bullshit. So bad that literally during the All-In main event, I watched this match about 2 dudes that were best friends that were supposed to be turning on each other. Instead, it turned into something where neither of them cared about the title. Neither of them wanted to win. And it just became melodramatic bullshit to the point where I don't watch AEW on a regular basis anymore. I might watch it literally just on pay-per-views. And so much so the last pay-per-view, I didn't watch it. I watched basically the Hangman and the Swerve match, and then when the main event started, and they were doing the melodramatic WWEism, this man came in on a fucking ambulance like he was, Roman Reigns or
John Cena
or
Kane
or Braun Strowman.
Yep.
And when I saw him, literally all the suits come out and stand in front of him and be like, no, don't risk your life. And then he fell down on the ground and he's selling it. He's like, I'm getting up. I turned that shit off and I went to bed. I have never done that during an AEW main event in my entire life.
Bro,
you ain't missed much.
This is something that is literally destroying my interest. And I can't speak here and say, oh, it's destroying it for everybody, but I'm sure for a lot of people it is. The numbers say it is. But for me, I can't enjoy this product. I can't enjoy this show. It has devalued my understanding of what the AEW title was. The title that was carried by Jericho, the title that was carried by Mox, the title that was carried by Kenny Omega, something that actually mattered, that was like the spiritual successor to the IWGP title and the NWA title.
The title that was carried by CM Punk.
By CM Punk. Well, he fucking sucked, but
He's not better than MJF.
he had a better title reign with no defenses than CM
Right.
than MJF has.
That's my point, Josh. That's my point. This VO ass nigga's done better than him.
And the last thing I'll say is this company has lost its literal fucking identity due to the whimsies of a man that wants to live in the Attitude Era when the Attitude Era actually fucking sucked.
Bro,
Yep.
that Full Gear pay-per-view, I think, was like the peak of all this MJF stuff. Watching the pre-show, then you have the Guns come out here, attack his leg. I'm like, bro,
This ain't good.
ain't no way. Like, this makes the whole from beginning to end made no sense. You have Adam Cole come out there, crunching his way down. Oh, I'll take his spot. So why couldn't he just be in the tag match then of Samoa Joe, first of all?
Exactly.
And then, like you mentioned, Josh, you have all these agents stopping MJF from coming out.
Why aren't they stopping Adam Cole?
Why are they stopping the man that's freaking legs in a brace?
Literally all crutches.
Man who's literally not medically cleared, but Tony Khan and Kayfabe was like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hobble your ass down in the ring. We need a main event, pal.
Defend this title that is not yours. You
I
did
know
not
Wrestling
win.
Promoters is cold, but goddamn.
Yeah. And then you have MJF coming out here doing the corniest leg selling and, doing, the Myron Reed cutter to the outside
Yes.
and selling the leg. I'm just like, could they have not? If you want to sell the leg, fine. Why did we need a whole pre-show angle and a whole show-long thing of like, oh, we don't, the new main event, MJF's not going to be here. Like, we know what it is. Just have Jay White attack the leg at the beginning of the match and sell the leg throughout the match. Like, what are we doing?
We're burying Jay White. That's what
Exactly.
Bro, we're burying everything. We're burying MJF. We're burying Cole. We're burying the company.
We're burying the refs.
Much. There's so much to that
And
shit.
if you bought that pay-per-view and paid for it, we're burying you for buying it.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people say the Wembley main event's like the worst AEW title match. I think the Jay White MJF is like the worst.
It's way worse than that. Look.
Not
I think
according to
that-
Meltzer.
I think that the
Dave Meltzer gave that shit 4.5. He's smoking
Gave what 4.5?
crack.
No, gave what 4.5?
MJF versus Jay White.
You fucking kidding me?
No.
Dead serious. He's smoking crack rock. If he thinks there's a half-star difference between that and Swerve versus Hangman,
No,
he's
wait,
fucking
wait.
tripping.
What did he give the All-In match?
4.5.
4.5.
Look, for me, right, I think that was the dividing line for this MJF title reign was that match or whatever else. And I can see people that disagree with our feelings and thoughts on this match, right, that think that match was great. And I can respect that people that think that match is great, right?
Hey man, I was there live in Wembley. I was caught up in the feeling of being there. There Floyd and Fenichel.
No, I get that. I get.
You got work.
No. The people that think that the All-In match was great, right? I get it. Like, I've watched that style before. I've seen that style before. I get a great match done that way. It's not for me, particularly for that promotion, right? It wasn't for me, right? But it's not like it didn't make sense given the story that they were telling. It's actually told me. I didn't want the story. It told a fine story, but I hated the story that they were telling. So, I get that. That match? Nah, man.
Dave gave both of those matches 4.5.
Those matches are not equal matches. That Jay White match is so much worse.
Yeah, way worse.
Which is a shocker. In money time, Adam Cole match is better than Jay White match. Who would have thought?
And I think one thing that bothers me with MJF and this whole shit with the WWEism is when he starts talking about the flavors of ice cream, and then he comes out knowing, being so gotten to, he comes into these press conferences already preemptively attacking. Like, he's not waiting to receive whatever's coming to him. He's like, nah, I know already people going to be pissed at this shit, so I'm going at them. So you know what that reeks of to me? That reeks of insecurity.
Yep.
That reeks of me to knowing that there are other people in that promotion that can carry that fucking belt right now that will actually restore the feeling. That will not come out here and get propped up by WWE fans that like wish AEW would be more like WWE. So that's actually why they support MJF. And like, I think we can all keep it funky on that. Like, MJF had a lot of great feuds leading up to all this shit in the past couple years.
Absolutely.
He wrestled Darby Allin. He had the fuse with
Wardlow,
with CM Punk.
The first Moxley
Cody.
match.
He did a lot of great work, but when they gave him the chance to be the man, what did he do? He reverted to the person he always wanted to be. He reverted to the person that watched SmackDown in 2009, and that watched Raw in 2013 and 14 and shit. And the Creative Pro Academy, Pat Buck, single-handedly trying to fucking infest this promotion with these Vince McMahon, WWE, Northeast legacy ideas. It's like, nah, man, this shit was always supposed to be something different.
Never mind the roll of quarters.
Like the whole situation is like, for me, like, look, bro, like, if you want to be WWE so bad, then take your ass to WWE. And I don't mean that.
Or Impact.
Like,
You mean TNA, sir?
Yeah. You want to be WWE light, be TNA.
Don't be for a large portion of this year, people didn't even want to work with MJF. And that's for me. So listen to it.
Right. So I think the thing for me was just like, this is a person that I found at times be frustrating because he, even when MJF was at his best, he would give you, every three, except for around CM Punk, like, one time a month, he would give you some shit. You're like, yo, bro, this ain't it. Whatever, the other 3 weeks, he was on a 3-week hot streak, and then this week you gave us some bullshit. And now that he's been the champion and he's done this whole thing, it's just been
a year, James.
Yeah, it's been a year. And like for me, like the things that I enjoy out of the MJF stuff is like the stuff that doesn't actually involve the title. Like when he's just having matches, like maybe they are for defending his house, but like he goes out there and he kind of just wrestles similar, like a kind of non-title match, like the Daniel Garcia match, where, for example, last month.
Shit.
Yeah, side quest stuff is like things for issue. It's like, bro, you are the champion. You're the world champion of this promotion. Like, and I don't want to be I don't want to be too hard on it and saying like what that means, whatever else. Like John Mox said enough about what that means, right? I can't say it better, but the part
there's
where
a responsibility here.
The part where that is the promotion, that's the identity of the promotion. That is what made itself differentiate itself from what is the actual standard, that the worldwide standard in professional wrestling. To have your own identity meant something, and for MJF to basically say, to get his title reign and say, nah, I'm going to be the change of pace. And by the change of pace, I mean I'm going to be a less effective version of what they're doing over there.
I'm gonna stand closer to WWE rather than further from it.
It's been very frustrating to watch. It's like, bro, like I don't watch this for another WWE. If another WWE, I don't watch WWE and it already exists right now. Why do I don't want to watch another WWE?
Exactly.
Right? Like most of the wrestlers that I'm fans of in the world, there are more people that I enjoy watching wrestling work in that company than anyone else, and I don't watch it. You think I want to watch it? You don't think I want to watch it at the top of this promotion? Watch that shit here? No, get fucked.
Yo, I am so tired of hearing about MJF's flavors of ice cream. Like, take your ice cream and shove it up your ass. Like, I'm tired.
Shit flavored ice cream.
I'm tired of turning on the Dynamite and the show opening up with him calling Adam Cole, and they're doing all this stupid bro chacho, Roddy Strong.
Catchphrase.
Yeah, like
catchphrase.
It is so dumb. And again, like
catchphrase.
My wife, somebody who has only been watching wrestling since she's been with me, tells the difference between who tells the difference between like AEW before and now.
She love your ass.
She does.
She love your ass. You like this bullshit.
She's gonna have to.
And she's like, why are there so many? She calls them skits. Why are there so many skits now?
Right.
Why is there so much talking? Where is the action? This is coming from a woman who literally only started watching wrestling in the last couple of years, and she knew the difference between Dynamite, where there was a bunch of action, and now where she says all these skits, all these talking, all this MJF crap. It's like, what is going? Even
some Brett
even my wife wants to restore a feeling. Like, come on, like what is going on here?
Oh my God.
And yet they want to bang on the other wrestlers from AEW for not being real wrestlers, for not being safe. When this guy comes out here and blows his fucking hip out, blows his fucking labrum out, like in the main event of the pay-per-view, while
shoulder
other
labrum.
wrestlers,
Shoulder labrum.
Yeah, while all the other wrestlers get tagged with this shit like they don't know how to work. Joseph Monticello, you fucking bum. Like, listen. This shit about Swerve, get fucked.
I'll close it out, but I just want to say, this was a guy that I saw as the future of wrestling, and now I see him as the end of AEW until they make some major changes. And this is something that has deterred me from watching AEW. I guess Josh McLaughlin, Josh number 2, was right all along.
Unbelievable.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to give him gratification of that. He was wrong. He was wrong for years.
He's right now.
He's right just now.
It don't matter.
He was wrong as hell for the first 3 years.
He's not going to pay behind the paywall to listen to this shit.
Yeah, he might.
I'm glad being number 3 because New Japan's been number 3 all year, and it's a good spot to be in. I know what it's like. But on that note, MJF and the brochacho shit and the rest of it, you can get the fuck out of here. Jeremy?
All right.
Non-evolving shit. Like, look, I understand the injuries and all that kind of stuff. I understand the injuries, all that stuff. Fucked up the, the whole Adam Cole thing, whatever else. But it's like, bro.
Good. That was God.
I touched a nerve. God saved the boogie. But it's like, bro, how many fucking times we going to have the whole thing? Adam! Like, bro, what did they reduce Roddy to, man?
Ridiculous.
Damn it.
Draft
Damn
that.
Jeremy.
All right. 4. So the last pick in the first round, I got to go with the big dog, Roman Reigns, beating Cody Rhodes, the bloodline never ending. So, as we mentioned, with the kind of like the quote unquote boom period that WWE is in right now, a lot of the credit goes to the whole bloodline storyline and Roman Reigns, 1,000+ days on top. And, fine. You want to push somebody to the top. You want to give them a long title reign and you're a top star. Fine. But what's the game plan? What's the plan? Who are you going to use this guy to get over next?
That's a hero?
Yes.
Okay.
And there clearly seems to be
terrified, man.
Yeah. And also, I know that WWE traditionally
Ziggler
is a heel promotion. It's been for a long time.
That's sad. Like you said, traditionally, that's only been the last 20 years. What about the other 40 before that?
Never mind that.
We reset this shit.
I was a kid watching Hulk Hogan and the Savage and Warrior. And Brett and Sean, and now this. God damn it.
And so it's like, all right, well, eventually they're going to build somebody up. They're going to bring somebody in to beat Roman. But, he just keeps beating people, stacking people up. And the storyline just keeps going on. And then you have to listen to all these podcasts saying, oh, man, this bloodline story is so great. There's so much nuance. The story with the Usos. And look at Jimmy, sneaking behind the locker to hear the hidden conversation. And, Paul Heyman, you just hear all this crap about how great the bloodline is, how the program, the ratings, the matches. I'm like, I tune into these matches and I see this melodrama, high school theater, talking to the hands crap. And I'm just like, what is the appeal? But never mind that. So then Cody leaves AEW. He's going, like CM Punk, he's going back home.
Hey, and also, when Cody leaves AEW, he's not exactly at the peak of what people thought of him.
Right, yeah.
He comes in there kind of broken.
Yeah. Right, but with the WWE machine, they're able to elevate him. They give him the pyro, the music, the
adrenaline. You ain't got it. Let's keep it a bean. Cody Rhodes came in there and Sami Zayn and they both breathe. I'm gonna say bro. They both breathed life into this dead thing that was just waiting in the water, just treading water, chugging along, just hoping that it'll be held afloat by inertia. So, shout out to Cody, shout out to Sammy. They fucked me all this year, and you can go back to your thing, Jeremy.
They got me, adrenaline in my soul.
something, Cody Rhodes. But yeah, so Cody comes in, they built this hot feud up, and I'm going to finish the story. I want to win the title that my dad never won. Literally, they were handed a story
on a silver platter.
Yeah, a golden platter. They got this story, perfect. The prodigal son comes back home. He wants to win the belt that his dad never won. He's going to stop the evil tyrant and his long 1,000-day
Reign of terror.
He's gonna overcome the bloodline. He's
Reign
gonna,
of terror in both promotions.
you talk about Star Wars. It's gonna be a New Hope. We're gonna,
Oh my God.
Cody's gonna, lead us into this, great time, and he's gonna defend all the, defend against all the evildoers.
Yeah.
But what do? Nah, we need more heat. We need this thing to keep on going.
To roll this shit over.
Roman's never losing the title. The bloodline's never ending. Cody, you wanted to finish the story? Too damn bad. Look up the lights, kid. Count them lights for us after you eat that spear.
My nigga, you wrestle for AEW. Why would you think we give you a win over Roman Reigns the first time?
Andrew, there are so many people that were like, Cody's winning for sure.
Absolutely.
They wouldn't do.
I would like to say One Nation Radio.
Not us.
Right.
Not
Well, because we
know what fucking time
we are always ahead, but there are some people who are not ahead. They're like, man, Cody's gonna win. There's no way.
So much mirth, the woes, all that shit, the Royal Rumble win.
And I feel bad for them because, like, in a normal, functioning, well-running wrestling promotion, Cody goes over.
Exactly, yeah. But that's not WWE.
That's not what this is.
And so, yeah, they come out here, they have this whole big match, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, Cody's for sure winning. It's going to be a great main event. And they're doing all the ref bumps. They're doing all shenanigans. Usos, Solos, and Sikoa.
Cody comes out, he's kissing his kids before the match.
Yes, he hit. No,
What are you gonna say?
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. If you want my opinions on that situation, you go back to when I was talking about when he's cutting that fucking promo about Atlanta, Georgia. It's on YouTube. You can go to that one.
The Martin Luther King speech?
Something like that. Yeah, something approaching that. So, yeah, man, like Cody's in the middle of hitting the first crossroads. He needs the second crossroads up for the third one. Once his third one is done, and then out comes that fucking Samoan Spike from Sikoa.
Yeah.
Niggas jumping out of nowhere. This is just like the Roman Reigns title reign. These boring ass matches where nothing happens.
Yes.
Where there are random people jumping out at the end.
Yes.
Where people are kicking out of shit. Where it's like, all right, but then like losing in anticlimactic fashions.
Yes.
In their hometowns.
Yes.
I saw like Cody Rhodes win, and I immediately knew the week before the match where they was talking about, you couldn't get over there, so you came back over here. I was like, oh. That was like a flashing light for me.
That's what the real story is.
Yep.
We are beating AEW. This is not about Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
This is about WWE humbling this man from AEW.
Yep.
And Cody Rhodes might win the belt coming up this year, right?
But he ain't win it the first time.
But he did not come in and beat the big dog. He came in.
He did not.
He laid his shoulders on the ground first.
He did not win the G1 on his first try. He did not.
Oh my
He came
God.
out here and was like, yeah, man, I'm going to fucking tear my pec and go into Hell in a Cell anyway. I'm going to win this Royal Rumble for y'all. I'm going to make all these house shows, and I'm also going to lose the Roman Reigns with pride. And then I'm going to come back a year later after he wins this shit. I'm making a prediction now. When he wins the fucking belt from Roman Reigns, right? Roman Reigns is going to take his ass home and
For months on end,
not sell the loss at all,
and then come
not
back like that
contribute
never
to
happened.
the business, anything like that. It's going to be on Cody Rhodes to figure this shit out himself. And there's already been cracks like in the WWE business the last half of the year, right? With some of the attendances and things like that. They've got CM Punk in there now. Maybe that can help Cody Rhodes. But as far as the bloodline just continuing and never ending, I think this is a desperation. I think this is something.
They're out of story. Done. They have nothing else.
This is something that their fans really desperately want, like, to be held up as this thing to validate the time they put in to watching this stuff.
Right.
To really be like, oh yeah, y'all had fucking Kenny versus Hangman and the Elite and all this shit. No, they want their answer to that with the bloodline and everything like that, right?
You know what the problem with that is?
What?
There was, in all stories, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. They do not have an ending in mind for how they end this shit.
I don't think they do.
They do not.
It's never ending.
They're just treading water, and it's been going on. It's been obvious and apparent.
Whoa.
Sorry?
I'm just saying, whoa, what do you mean, James? Like, do you mean that the reports that they write month to month and week to week and day to day are actually substantiated based on what you're saying?
Yeah, right. And that's the thing that's so, like, for me, is frustrating when I hear people talk about, like, you know, the quality of the bloodline stuff, and then like they put out the video of it, and I'm like,
how about that SummerSlam main event, James?
Oh yeah, that was.
I don't even remember what was. I don't even remember.
It was Jay versus Roman.
After they broke up the Usos the month before.
Yeah.
Leading up, in that match, they broke up the Usos.
When it comes to finishing the story, let me ask you guys something. Do you think that the 12 WWF title matches that Dusty Rhodes had mattered more than the 175 NWA World Heavyweight title matches that Dusty Rhodes had? Which one was really the story he was trying to finish?
I don't feel like Dusty Rhodes ever gave a fuck about the WWF.
You mean the NWA? You mean the New York region's top title wasn't as important as the NWA World's Heavyweight title to Dusty Rhodes?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
people give work.
Yeah, man. I just think that like this thing has gone over so long, and it's like the whole point of having a heel faction, you know, whether it's the Authority, whether it was, you know, the McMahons, whatever else, was to have be toppled by whether it was Austin or The Rock or The Undertaker at a particular time, or in this particular case, Cody or Sami Zayn. And then they passed that, and there's nobody, you know, maybe it's CM Punk, I don't know, but like if it ends up being CM Punk, it's like, this was never your fucking plan. This is what you decided to get just finally, you know, have it run its course. Mm-hmm. And it's like, this is not proper storytelling in the way that people actually want it at its highest level in professional wrestling we ever get. This, like, when people talk about pro wrestling being storytelling, like, people hate to, or people say that it's soap opera, but like, when you see the storylines in soap opera or whatever else, and they run their course or whatever else, they run their course for like a season or whatever else, and they move on. This does not last this fucking long. And I don't mean it in a bad way. It's bad because it lasts long. It's bad because it's lasted this long and it's been undynamic in the way.
And there's no plan.
Stagnant.
And the funny thing is, WWE's promoting that, like, oh, they know how to tell real stories.
Real stories.
You know, AEW, New Japan, but they don't know how to tell stories. We're telling stories here.
Meanwhile, it's like, can you imagine, Rich, like, the last like 5 or 4 years we've been watching, you know, what we watch around the world, and it's like, all right, just in all honesty, right? Like, okay, the stuff we've seen out of the Bloodline, and then you compare it to like the stuff we've seen like Julia and Shuri in that run to get to where Julia got to, or the run between like
or the one with QQ. Like, how about the fucking Saya and Utami shit?
And that was just in the summer. That was in the summer. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like this on the long form stuff, right? Like, this talk about like the whole path from where like we start watching Stardom, and Tam is basically like almost like a Bayley-like character, like a fan of the leader of her faction, to now she's a leader of women and all this kind of stuff. And that whole like growth of character and perspective over the span of basically 40 years, right? And to see that stuff, and to see her like her rise against, you know, Arisa, and then tagging with Arisa, to see the whole Arisa thing go away, she has to retire, to see her then find her who turns out to be her greatest rival of all time in Julia, to see Cosmic Angels go to war with Donna Del Mondo, to see Julia and Tam have hair matches where they're beating the piss out of each other, from Yokohama Budokan to Yokohama to the Budokan Hall, to then Yokohama Arena over these years. And it's like, no, you guys are out of your fucking mind. The Natsupoi and Tam stuff from last year. Yeah. You'd be like, you guys are out of your fucking minds, WWE fans that are telling me that this stuff is like chapter for chapter and page for page on the level of the best stuff we've seen around this world, compared to the whole Kenny Omega storyline with Cody, and getting back to Cody, or getting to the IWGP World Title, and the fallout with the Young Bucks at that point in time. And the Golden Elite stuff, it's like you're kidding yourself. Like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, you watch what you watch, but it's like, At best, this is CBS's like top tier show. Like, this is like The Good Wife or whatever else. And no, I like The Good Wife until I found out,
Me too.
just recently, like Julianne Margulies a goddamn bigot, but whatever. Like,
oh my God,
that happened. We found out about this shit this week. Whatever, it is what it is. Topical, right? But it's like, hey man, if that is your prestige TV show for CBS, I'm be like, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's not something that's going to take home. It's not something that's going to beat the Wire. It's not something that's going to beat Succession. It's not something that's going to beat like The Last of Us. I'm sorry, it is what it is. And like when people talk about the cinema stuff, it's like, bro, like this stuff is in spite of
poison.
This shit has affected. That should have been drafted.
Bro.
Like that, this shit has infected the other companies will be alternative now.
Yeah, bro. In 2017, I stopped watching WWE specifically because they buried Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Because I'd never seen them treat a top guy the way they did treat Roman Reigns.
Yep.
And now the coin has flipped the other way, and this guy has been able to come in and literally work. Basically,
he's had 11 matches this year.
Have 11 matches this year.
7 televised.
Have a renaissance of his career. They've gotten the right promotional material behind him, but he fucking sucks. When one of your top all-time singles matches is Logan Paul, and you've been in the business for greater than a decade, something is fucking wrong. Something is wrong. And like, I drafted this dude last year, and you know what? They made me wrong. Last year I drafted that the Bloodline was the greatest WWE storyline of all time. And you know what? For a brief period of time, they did hit crescendos. After I drafted
thanks to Sami Zayn, not because of them.
Thanks to Sami Zayn. Thanks to Jey Uso. Thanks to Cody Rhodes.
Jey Uso has been reduced to a nigga that just says yeet all the time now.
Putting that as that's true, but
he's Cody's tag team. He's Cody's tag team minority friend. Yeah,
which apparently like Orton couldn't get over it, and fucking what's the other guy? Drew McIntyre can get over it, but like Cody had no problem with the fact that they fucked him up at WrestleMania. But whatever. Putting all that aside, they were able to actually hit some crescendos business-wise, and it carried over, and it was fine. Yeah. And they proved me wrong from last year. But you know what? This dude worked 11 days this year, had shitty matches, one of the worst SummerSlam main events of all time, and that's including...
Yes.
That's including...
Undertaker versus Undertaker.
Yeah.
Undertaker versus Undertaker.
Diesel versus Mabel.
Diesel versus Mabel. And Yokozuna versus Lex Luger. It is literally worse than all of those. And this storyline has gone off of a cliff.
Triple H versus Brock Lesnar.
I kind of like that match. But
what? No, dude, when Triple H was doing those fake guys, like fucking cheer for me, fake empowerment bullshit.
But anyways, putting all that aside, this storyline is in the mud. They've literally basically resigned this guy to
you can't even say it's in the mud. It's in the kiln. That mud is cooked.
He doesn't work, and they're trying their hardest to drag it out as long as they can because maybe Rock will work WrestleMania. If he doesn't, maybe
Cody will win.
Please, maybe Cody can finish.
Please, Mr. Dwayne, will you please come save our storyline? Will you please make our story make sense? If you gotta call the motherfucker in that ain't been on this job in a decade to come fix your fucking story, your story stinks.
I was in Tampa. In 2013, when The Rock said he would never leave this company ever again, and that was a lie.
Can you imagine?
Work, liar.
Work. Can you imagine 2028? Tom Brady says, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna come back to the Patriots. I'm gonna win the Super Bowl a decade later." Nah, man, it's just the bus. We're done. What you mean? We're done.
But the long died, man. What the fuck?
The long and the short of it is this storyline sucks, and so much so that they've literally had to pivot to Mommy and to
Dominic
Judgment Day,
and to the Judgment Day to literally carry the bulk of the company because there is no bloodline. The bloodline doesn't exist,
right? Because Roman Reigns does not show up to work anymore.
No,
and I don't. Blame
and hats off to him.
And I don't blame him because when I was showing, because when he was,
I wouldn't either.
Because when he was showing to work, Vince was fucking up left and right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they gonna let him get away with doing this shit.
Hey, God bless them.
I remember
Vanessa of the year.
I remember when me and Rich covered the Royal Rumble.
You know you're next, right?
You talk about the disaster the Royal Rumble 2015 was, where like The Rock came out there and he raised Roman's hands and he got and the fucking Rock, the biggest movie star in the world, got booed, right? And he raised that eyebrow, and then like first thing Rich was like, he's thinking about Rocky die all over again. Now
he almost went to Pride because of that, according to the Joe Rogan podcast.
If you're Roman Reigns and you have suffered what you've had to suffer while you were somebody that, as just a total package of somebody that should have been unfuck-upable but Vince McMahon fucked you up. Like, hey man, I've had to endure.
I'm in it for me.
I've had to hold this burden. I am not in a position where I ain't got to do much anymore. I am not doing not one bit more than I need to. I punch that clock. I punch out that clock. I leave. I go raise my kids. I'm happy. I'll come back whenever it's time for me to come back. You ask for overtime, I'm gonna say, hey, fuck you or pay me. Which one?
Pin me and pay me.
Yo, it's gonna be funny when I draft women's wrestling in America.
No, don't you dare.
Well, anything else on the bloodline,
No,
Roman?
that's all I got.
Man, they can really just get the fuck out of here.
All right, well, that's going to kick off the second round. So we're snaking. So I got the first pick in the second round, and I'm wearing an Elite t-shirt. So my pick is going
The Elite can get the fuck out. No, I'm just playing.
The booking of the Elite in 2023.
Let's go.
Now, I thought that this shit was called All Elite Wrestling. I did not know they need to change this shit to SEW for sometimes Elite Wrestling, because this is bullshit this year. Exactly. Bullshit.
Yeah, like you mentioned, All Elite Wrestling, literally the Bucks, Kenny, Hangman, they have been the heart and soul and the core of this promotion. That was a part of the big draw, All In. They came together, did this show, and people, they want to see the Young Bucks. They want to see Kenny Omega. They want to see Hangman Page. These are some of the best wrestlers in the world. They're top draws. Kenny's world title reign was great. Hangman's world title reign was great. Young Bucks being AEW tag team champions, having the best tag matches, in the planet. And, they're top draws, they're top stars. Like, they are the real feeling that people are trying to restore.
Yes.
And then you look back at 2023, and yes, I know, like, Brawl Out happened, which, they left for that, and then they came back and they won the Trios title, which I guess was always the plan, because they were doing interviews. We're waiting for Kenny to come back from injury so we can start the Trios division or whatever. And then since then, it's like they dropped the Trios belt, and it's like, okay, what have they really done? And yeah, they've kind of done some like faction warfare stuff with the Blackpool Combat Club, and that feud was great. But I mean, there was a ton of multi-man matches. If you look at the Bucks and Kenny and Hangman's cage matches, there's a ton of 6-man, 8-man, 10-man tags. It's like, what are we doing? We have Kenny Omega. We just came back from injury. Everything's healed up. He's still in the prime of his career.
The peak of his powers still.
Yes. Like, why are we not using this guy to have more great singles matches? Hangman Page, literally the babyface that we built literally from day one of the promotion, and the whole like first major arc was him winning the title. He was our top, star, our top hero that we built, and we're just never gonna use him fully. And you just look all throughout the year, and it's
the Young Bucks, bro. Think about how they've used the Young Bucks from like the time they've dropped tag titles.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's embarrassing to think about.
Yeah, and then you get to big shows like Wembley Stadium, and you got Kenny Omega and Hangman Page in a 6-man tag team match against Bullet Club Gold. And, it was a fun little 6-man tag, but if Wembley is going to be the biggest show of all time, the biggest, drawing show, I'm putting Kenny Omega in a singles match.
Right.
Whether it's main event or not. If I'm booking, I'm probably putting him in the main event. But I'm putting Kenny Omega in a big singles match on the biggest stage. I'm putting Hangman Page in a big singles match on the biggest stage. I'm not shoving them in there for 6-man washed Kota Ibushi. Sorry, Ibushi. You're washed now. I'm not sticking them in that kind of situation. And you just look all up and down their booking, and the whole like feud now with like Kenny and the Don Callis family, and like Kenny losing to Takeshita, which is fine, but then they're not following up.
They're not doing anything with Takeshita,
right? So there's so much bad, like, and there's weeks where like these guys are just not on TV. Like Kenny and Jericho just won the tag title shot. Where have they been? Like I haven't seen them on Dynamite recently. Like
The Golden Jets.
yeah. Well, what's this?
Kiera Hogan versus Abaddon. For who? For what?
Oh my gosh.
The Freaks.
Goddamn collision.
But yeah, so it's like
Jeremy.
I know who that's for.
Jeremy. The Elite's booking in 2023 has been motherfucking terrorism.
yes.
Like there's no way to sugarcoat this shit. There's no way to come out here and be like, yeah, man, you know, they did this and whatever. No. These guys, it's called, like James said, it's all elite wrestling. No matter what they do, as far as
Some
like
elite.
when you write the words on paper, in the middle it says fucking elite. And I don't know what it has been to not be cool to like advocate for the elite or anything like that, you know, or to give credit elsewhere. I think it's important to remember where this shit started. Like Jeremy said, like this shit was announced on Being the Elite. They ended Being the Elite this year just like with a whimper.
No fanfare.
No nothing.
No build to the last episode.
And it's just like, man, does Tony Khan really like understand the fucking brand that he has? Like, does he understand like whatever, or is it just a mid 2000s Ring of Honor dedication show? Like, or is it just these motherfuckers that like he actually like where's the loyalty? Like, where's the Young Bucks? Like, you know, where's been their usage since they've dropped the tag team titles? Like, if you have Kenny Omega this year, every time he's put in a big singles position, moving numbers, every single one of them, and you're doing nothing with him. You're beating him the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming out here in like just really like the people that the core fans that have built this company. You're just kind of left like, all right, because there is a balance. Like, I'm not saying I need the elite to like just cut through everybody like a knife through butter, but I'm saying like they have done multiple stints of where it's just been, yeah, man, they're losing the people to put them over and try to elevate other people. Like they've done that, but like at what point is it going to be their time? What point is it going to be like, yeah, man, like they're going to just whoop some ass? They reunited this year when they were fighting with the Blackpool Combat Club, which almost was like, you know how the Attitude Era was? Like, the whole thing was like a build for Vince being like, it was always me, Austin.
Yeah.
Like, that was like the Elite versus BCC. It was like, yeah, man. It's like all these dudes that came from WWE, Danielson, Moxley, Claudio, and all this shit versus the fucking Elite.
And
like,
Yuta Wheeler.
in Wheeler Yuta. In Wheeler Yuta too.
From WWE.
But
that guy.
But it's like after the Elite beats them niggas like in the cage match or whatever, improves like, you know, the friendship and everything, you have nothing else for them. You tried nothing else. Like, you didn't let them whoop no ass together. You didn't let them tag with each other. You didn't let them just like, it's like they treat the BCC almost like they're the Elite.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
like, I understand, like, yo, you obviously, like, not to take any, like, Danielson and Moxley, they've done incredible work for the company. It's like, why don't you treat the Elite like Kenny and Hangman like you treat Danielson and Moxley?
Listen,
Right.
like here's the thing with the Elite, right? When they first started the company, let's make
They're
it very,
too fucking unselfish.
let's make it very clear.
Absolutely.
There's no AEW without those guys, but those guys were very afraid that if they pushed themselves too strong in the beginning, it would be a detriment to the company. And all hats off to them. And eventually they got their due. But the long and short of it is, when you really boil it down to who you have, and this is one of the deepest rosters in the history of professional wrestling, the Bucks are probably the greatest tag team of all time. Kenny Omega is probably a top 5 all-time talent in the history of professional wrestling. And Adam Page is the current and probably future of professional wrestling. And the fact that these 4 individuals are not pushed as your prime time main eventers in this company and the guys that you push at the forefront. And maybe there are reasons for that. Maybe it's political, maybe it's physical, maybe it's, whatever. At the end of the day, the fact of the matter is that they're not pushed to the forefront of the company is criminal. And it is a detriment to your brand. And it is a detriment to your credibility.
Your identity.
And your identity. Because everything in AEW was built off the back, just like the Cody promo. When he was cutting that promo before he left the company, he was talking about, CM Punk, you said all this stuff, but we did it. He was absolutely correct. He did it. Hangman did it. Kenny did it. The Bucks did it. And Hangman, all those guys, they did it. And the fact of the matter is when you turn into TV and when you put on the show on a Wednesday or a Friday or a Saturday and you don't see those guys cutting promos, you don't see them wrestling, you don't see them in pre-tapes, you're wondering, why the fuck am I watching this show? And there's some people that are happy about it. And guess what? Those people that are happy about
are fucking wrong.
Not only are they wrong.
A bunch of bitch ass niggas.
Not only are
bitches.
Not only are they wrong, they're not the people spending money on your pay-per-views. They're not people that actually care about the vitality of your company long term. The people that have been with you day one, Tony Khan, put your money where your mouth is. The people who have been putting their money where their fucking mouth is, like us for here, and you people listening, guess what? We've been doing it because it's all elite. It's not sometimes elite wrestling. It's all elite wrestling. And guess what? The elite, we don't get to hear from them. We barely get to see them. And it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, just have been happy all year long with this. Like, I came back home from Japan on the trip I took, and like the Game 7 stuff happened, and like then it was like, all right, so this is what they're doing. And I really enjoyed them coming back together for the BCC stuff for Blood and Guts. And then afterwards, they just like kind of just hanging out. It's been hanging out for like the last half of this year, and it's been fucking annoying that they've just been hanging out. Like these are, Kenny Omega in particular is like one of the 4 most important people for this company to work, and for him to, basically just be hanging out and whatever else. Regardless of, and like I'm even accounting for the part where like it's his first year back from the injuries and all that kind of stuff. But it's like the Young Bucks just been hanging out a lot this year, and like it's weird because we thought we were gonna have that match at Full Gear. It was gonna be them versus FTR 3. Didn't happen. And like I'm just kind of like the old guard. It kind of like if you want to include Jericho with this, like over this last year have all been phased down in a way, and it's like, okay, I understand that if you have somebody that's worth pushing at that level. But when I see at the top what's going on is the MJF verse, I'm like, fuck no, bring back the old guard, olds on top. I want the Mafia back. I don't want. This is not. We are fastly losing recipes here. We are losing the feeling, and I'm afraid of what. And like there are people that can, at the top, I feel can, handle this thing at a certain level. Beyond
like you mentioned, there are other guys that are like, if you elevate them and they do what they do, that shit will work. And
right.
It's not like I want the elite to stand in everybody's way, but It's like, bro, value the elite.
And if you want to do that, like let these wins mean to something. Like if Takeshi is going to beat Kenny Omega, Takeshi needs to be on the rise in the track to get a title shot at some point.
Right. Why is it we got him versus MJF?
Hell, at least an international title shot. That man can't face Orange Cassidy?
Exactly.
He can't even get in the C2.
That man can get a TNT title shot?
Shit.
Apparently not. Like, it's been annoying. It's like, hey, man, like, if it's a thing where they're slowing down, they're part-time and cool or whatever else, like, you kind of need to get out in front and say this. And say, hey, we're now in the mode of trying to make people whatever else. It's like, I would say cool, and I would be like, well, you've been trying to make people 4 years. How's that fucking worked out for you? It only works when y'all on top? Okay.
Yeah, man. And Hangman Page did a lot of great business with Swerve Strickland this year.
The one person that actually got getting put over by the elite this year, it seems.
And, I'm kind of looking at the Young Bucks, and like obviously they're connected to the CM Punk stuff. So, there's like a lot of like the Young Bucks have already had the resentment that's being brought upon them by the people with CM Punk. This is nothing new. There's always been a Cornette crowd, a WWE fan that's
Uso
anti
fans.
the Young Bucks, Uso fans.
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's always been something against the Young Bucks or whatever, right? And they'll probably come back with their new gimmick whenever they do it, and they'll beat this shit again or whatever, right? But man, I gotta say, like looking at it as somebody that's like a hardcore Elite fan that like talks to like a lot of fans like of the Elite, it's like it's just like, damn, like how are you excited about this in 2023? It's like what is it? It's like the promo time is limited. Being the Elite is going away. And it's like, all right, maybe they're like me and James talked about it. Like maybe they're gonna try to tell, their stories in a more conventional way or whatever to get to people, in a different way, which is cool. It's like, all right, let's see how they do it there. But it's like, with the CM Punk stuff and all that, it was like I was afraid that they kind of lost the Booker's ear and everything like that. But it's like you see Kenny Omega so at the top of his game, like just like look at the fucking filthy matches, the match list that he has, the Vikingo, fucking Ospreay twice.
Yeah, both Ospreys.
MJF.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like you telling me this guy is like, all I see is him now posting on Twitter about, I just got my streaming equipment together, and I'm gonna be.
Shit I said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like,
Kenny
bro.
Omega was talking about, I'm starting up a stream thing on. I don't know if he said Switch, but it was like some shit like I'm starting up a stream, a place, some Street Fighter or whatever. So I was like, nigga, he's all just hang out with you guys. Like, nigga, come hang out on Dynamite.
Right, come stream your ass on Wednesday nights.
Yes, that's how the shit I was. Come stream your ass on Wednesday nights.
What the fuck? Like either, be a part of like solidifying that early 30s group or push these niggas for real.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Tony Khan?
Yeah, Tony Khan.
And again, like back to my wife, she's like, why does Kenny Omega lose every week now? Like, why is he always losing? Isn't he supposed to be the best in the world?
Damn.
Like,
Not since he lost to Takeshita.
oh man.
Yeah, I guess the Elite's booking for 2023 can get the
Fuck out of here. All right, young boy, you got the second pick in the second round.
Oh shit, we're pivoting to me.
That's how this works.
Yeah.
State drafts work, yeah.
I went last and then I went first.
All right. Well, I guess this is the plight of number 3, like New Japan.
Well, now you're number 2.
Bring it to the stage.
No. So I'm going to draw. I don't see it on the list here, but I'm gonna fucking draw it in.
Off the board. Let's go.
Off the
Let's
board.
get it.
The fucking failed pushes of Sonata and Tama Tonga and David Finlay fucking up New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let's fucking go.
Let's go. Run it.
Turn it up.
Listen, obviously, me and Jeremy, we've been watching this shit for years on end, and we've been very optimistic about the positivity of what the potential could be when it comes to Tama Tonga and David Finlay as this hard ass, bring bodies or bring titles or bring gold or whatever the fuck he said. And, Sonata, putting on a robe, putting on some trunks and, leaning up a little bit,
Cutting the beard.
cutting their fucking beard off. Getting a
Natural
faction
color.
behind him. And we were like, this guy looks like a top guy in the 80s. He looks like, fucking Ricky Steamboat. He could run a best of 5 series with Ric Flair and all that shit.
That sounded problematic. Continue.
What I mean by that is the fact that he looks like a star. And you know what? It didn't amount to much because they gave him Hiromu. They gave him all these other, top end acts and like Suji and whoever the fuck, and they gave him that A block during the G1. And guess what?
Where he's going through Kaito Kiyomi and all the young guys.
And guess what? That didn't amount to shit. And guess what? They put Finlay at the top of the Bullet Club, and that didn't amount to shit. And guess what? They put Tama Tonga in charge of GOD, and they gave him big wins over Jay White and all these other people. And guess what? That didn't amount to shit. And we were optimistic, and we gave them a chance, and we wanted it to work. But guess what? None of that bullshit fucking worked.
And the thing is, like, we see it's not working, and there is no pivot, no change direction. Like, all right, this world title reign is clearly not working. Let's put the belt on somebody else. Tama Tonga is not working as a singles guy. Let's put him back in the tag team.
Nice fucking guy. Me and Jeremy met this guy in New York City.
He bought us beers. You know, shout out Tama Tonga. You're a cool dude, but you're not a top guy. I'm sorry.
You know what? Tama Tonga probably should have actually been the successor to the Bullet Club, but he wasn't. But you know what? That might have worked better than David Finlay being the successor.
Right. David Finlay
so.
is leading a faction where pretty much everybody in the faction is better than him. I'd rather see Gabe Kidd leading, Coughlin, Connors, Drilla.
I'd rather see Tangaloa. I'd rather say Hikuleo as the leader of the Bullet Club at this point. You know, ELP doesn't fucking matter. But these three guys are guys that are tied into the company, that are going to stay. They're here to last. And who's headlining Wrestle Kingdom? Sonata. That fucking sucks. Who is in the never openweight title match? Who's challenging for the never openweight title match? The match that used to produce 5-star classics.
The most wonderful time of the year. Although, let's be honest, around the holidays, things really add up. But here's the good news. Only at Verizon, you can get a single line for $50 per month when you switch and bring your phone. So while ice skating for two is definitely costing more, here at Verizon, you can save. Gifts for your third cousins? Steep. A single line with Verizon? Not so steep. A real tree? Pricey. A single line with Verizon? Less pricey. Flights to see Mima and Pops? Those are up. A $50 per month single line? That's down. Even a trip to the Atlanta Holiday Market will cost you more. But with Verizon, you can switch and bring your phone for just $50 per month for a single line on unlimited welcome, with autopay plus taxes and fees. All this to say, during the holiday season, when everything is costing more, you can get more for less right now at a local Verizon store. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G, 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
The title match that used to produce matches like, you know, fucking Ishii versus Shibata or Jeff Cobb versus Shingo. But instead
Suzuki and Goto, that one.
Yeah. But instead at Wrestle Kingdom, we're getting Tama Tonga versus Shingo Takagi.
A rematch that we literally just saw in Texas that was fun.
Again. And then you got fucking Dave Finlay. Maybe this touches on one of the subjects you guys try to throw out there as the list. You got Will Ospreay, the wrestler of the year, basically the best performer of the year and the wrestler of the year because this year has sucked so fucking bad because there's so many champions that fucking suck. Whether it is
they're carrying that blue fucking belt.
Whether it's Rollins, whether it is
Roman,
whether it's MJF or whether it's Sonata, doesn't fucking matter. They all pale in comparison to the U.S. champion, which apparently there's no U.S. title. That shit got destroyed.
Literally.
But apparently, you know, Will Ospreay, the guy that should have been literally pushed as the top of the card for the last 3 years in New Japan, but didn't for whatever fucking reason. And now he's jumping to AEW because he's getting paid double what Okada's making.
Let's go.
But apparently, according to Jim Valley, we're supposed to be happy about that.
We got to thank Tony Khan for that,
Thank you, Tony Khan. You know, David Finlay is going to fill in, and there's all these people who are like, come on, Dave, beat John Moxley and Will Ospreay. He's the pin eater in that fucking match. Me and Jeremy been calling it since day one. And anybody else, you can listen back to this podcast later on. I'm 5 drinks in. But anybody else that was clear, sober-minded a month ago that was telling you that he's going to win that match and be the new whatever fucking title it is, the new white belt, they're fucking wrong. Me and Jeremy have been calling it for a long time. He's the pin eater.
You got 2 AEW contracted wrestlers in that ring.
Exactly.
You think that man
Yeah, that man's definitely losing.
Let me tell you something. There's a lot of cool stuff happening in New Japan. This World Tag League's been pretty eye-opening. There's a lot of cool stuff, but at the end of the day, for the past 12 months, they've been pushing these 3 dudes, and they all, I'm sorry to say it because I wanted them to work out, but they fucking suck.
Now,
Fuck these dudes.
Now, I don't watch New Japan as closely as I once did during the days of the title reign of Kazuchika Okada, Hiroshi Tanahashi,
The golden
Kenny
era.
Omega, the Golden Lovers, Young Bucks, fucking LIJ with Tetsuya Naito with the IC belt.
Anoki. Tiger Mask.
Antonio Inoki, Masahiro Chono,
Hashimoto.
But yo, when I find out, when I see Sonata win the title from Okada, and I'm like, all right, I'm not really a Sonata fan and everything like that. I watched this whole golden era fucking happen. When I never saw Sonata as the match of the night, as the best wrestler.
How?
In a block. I never saw Sonata as like one of the top 3 guys in the block. And,
Nope.
And people tell me, go ahead, it's cool. It's Sonata. He's a champion. You should like this. You only like AEW. I'm like, all right, man. Like, they're making it like it's you don't like what the Japanese fans are. I'm like, look, man, I love Shingo Takagi. I fucking love Hiroshi Tanahashi. I love Kazuchika Okada. I love Katsuyori Shibata.
You love Anoki.
Nah.
R.I.P.
I love Hiromu Takahashi.
Rest in power.
I love all these people. Then it's like, yo, I gotta love Evil too. I gotta love Sonata too, even though these people, Yujiro Takahashi, these people, they was never like the people that was in the blocks that was burning shit up. They was never making shit shake over in the United States. Never,
not once.
But Sonata, like this is like we're out of touch. I'm like, all right. I'll be out of touch if it's Sonata that y'all want to die on the hill. I'll let y'all fucking die. Like y'all like we went through it on One Nation Radio. This fucking Tetsuya Naito versus Sonata main event. How far back do you want to take it? Do you want to go back to Wrestle Kingdom 8, Wrestle Kingdom 9, 10, 11, 12? We can go through every one of those compelling matchups for dozens of reasons, right? Mm-hmm. But when we got Tetsuya Naito versus Sonata staring at us on January 4th, the date where it has more great matches in pro wrestling history than probably any other fucking date, we're staring at Sonata versus Tetsuya Naito? Are you fucking kidding me? like we have to take Sonata seriously on that level? A man that looks like he's in a coffin, like the level of range he emotes with, and I understand the unemotive Japanese ace pro wrestler, but I'll say this: you ain't no fucking ace, right. Sonata. Like nobody that is coming out here trying to cape for Sonata. Y'all lying to themselves.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where it's like, I understand it's your homeboy and everything, but like I feel bad for the good deed that Naito's trying to do for his dude. I feel bad for him. It's like it's not gonna be. He's not gonna be. Is Naito out there trying to go out there and have a career match with this guy? And like with Sonata, like clearly we all know he's super talented, but like there's something just missing inherently with him that only seems to work with certain people. Mostly like people like Zack Sabre Jr. But it's something missing, and like it's going to be on the main event of what for a lot of people
the biggest show of the year,
the most people, the show that people a lot of us fans look forward to the most, and it's not going to be there, and you got to rely on Danielson versus Okada, and it's like, damn, bro.
And they put him in a faction called Just Five Guys, where he
my god,
just a guy. That's what he looks like.
Just a guy.
He's a Jag leading Jags in the main event.
Oh my god!
Like y'all trying to tell me this is as hot as so many years pass, and look, the ticket sales, people trying to pump up and shit, not realizing there was a global pandemic, and comparing them to the last couple of years and stuff like that, and it's like you can spin the shit whatever way you want to. You want to talk about ticket sales, you want to talk about the domestic fan base and all that. Let's keep it a fucking bean. We know this shit gonna stink.
I thought Jeremy was going to go off harder, but he didn't go off harder. I'll close it out with this. In my drunken state, Rich basically reached out and he was like, you know what? This is a Ronnie Garvin situation. I brought it up on the show on Keeping a Strong Style several weeks ago, but this is literally what it is, except it's just been extrapolated out further than the Ronnie Garvin situation is.
Extrapolated. My boy drunk.
I'm drunk. I'm 10 shots in. So basically, Rich has finished 2 fucking 750 milliliter bottles of Vintner's Red, which he's trying to still convince me is good wine.
The Eric Rowan's, from
the Vintner's. Anyways, they put the title on this man. Me and Jeremy predicted months and months ago. We're like, there's no way he goes to the G1 as champion. He went to the G1 as champion. We're like, there's no way he goes through October as champion. He went through October as champion.
That's funny.
We're like, there's no way he goes to Wrestle Kingdom as champion. He went to Wrestle Kingdom as champion. But guess what?
Bro, what if he beat Naito, bro?
You know what? John from Omikaze is probably pretty happy about the fact that there's some sort of upwards of ticket sales from the fact that there's 2 LIJ members that are fighting one another. But you know what?
There's absolutely a story there.
There's a story there.
There's a story there, yeah.
But you know what? When this man comes out and he works, and not just in main events, but in mid-card matches and in multi-man tags, and I don't see star potential. I don't see a guy that's wearing a robe or projecting or using facials or doing any of the things that he should do. He is a lot like Lex Luger. He's a guy that should be a top guy, but he's not a fucking top guy because there's something missing.
Bro,
there's a key component
body.
missing.
The freaking angle with Kanemaru, his homeboy literally turns on him, and he's sitting there watching them get jumped, and he's not trying to get out the handcuffs, yelling, so any kind of emotion. He's just sitting there watching.
Bro, he worked an angle with his former tag team partner, Evil, who stole his world title, who sold more merch than him off of a shirt that he basically produced fraudulently as the next IWGP World Champion. And every single piece of merchandise that he's ever put out is less selling than the merchandise that Evil put out as a fake champion. That tells you everything that you need to know. This guy doesn't have the juice. He's not the top guy. Nope. He's not a top draw.
Nope.
He is, at best, a very good tag team champion. He's and a very good hand.
Yeah.
And he never, ever. And you know what? Me and you got flack in 2018 when we said he should never be at the top of the card. And they put him at the top of the card. We're optimistic about it. And
we gave it a chance.
And he's not alone because they did it with him. They did it with Tama Tonga. They did it with David Finlay. And me and Jeremy gave it a chance. We were optimistic about it. But guess what? I've never been made more to look like a fool on my own show than when I went to bat for these guys and they fucking failed me. And I'm hoping that Oleg Bolton and
Oscar
Callum
Lube
Newman and Oscar Lube and the other LA Dojo guys avenge me, because these guys need to get the fuck out of here.
All right, Big James. You got
Big James, where you at?
the 3rd pick in the 2nd round.
All right.
And we're almost done.
So this has been on my mind for...
You asked me to get you another drink, but I didn't see it till now.
Yeah, it's fine. This has been on my mind all year long, and it's been frustrating as hell. As a fan that got re-energized by this new class of class of people that you just did not expect this from, that I got this new surplus of talent from. Women's AmRest in 2023 brings his ass to the stage. I've had to watch these pay-per-views and outside of Charlotte and Rhea at WrestleMania and Hikaru Shida versus whoever. I have seen some of these terrible storylines from the alternative. I have seen some of these terrible storylines from the Worldwide Leader. I have seen a woman, or one of the women that I saw years ago in Rhea Ripley, I saw the position of the world and be basically got over by being a manager, by being basically a new age version of China that can work, right? And while she can work, she's been basically put in the ring with people like Zelina Vega. And don't get me wrong, like that match with in Puerto Rico at Backlash was really cool in that moment, everything she got. But like the match was the match, and it was a squash match effectively. It was give a whole spot and then cut it off, end it. And like to see like where Charlotte Flair has, outside of the one match this year, has regressed over the last couple years as a wrestler, has been sad to see. To see where Bianca last night with Kyrie, like after seeing them multiple times, seeing in Bianca's first televised match actually have a good ass match in 2017 in the Mae Young Classic, to see that to where, and to see them in New York City in the Barclays Center and them have a good ass match with her and Io and Shayna, to then see them out there looking fucking embarrassing last night on they've never touched each other, like they've never had any interaction ever in life before. It's been embarrassing. And to see like Stardom this year, storyline wise, have a down year, and to still see that they have still lapped their American contemporaries all up and down cards and matches and all that kind of stuff has been like just laughable. Like, I don't know where we go from here, but if the only person that seems like they still give a fuck in this country is Becky Lynch, and I don't know what we're doing. So I don't know. Is Beck like who else you want to throw in and say like this person is a American women's wrestler, and that's where they grew up or trained in, or not trained in. This is where they grew the prominence in, and they look like they give a fuck and they're wrestling their ass off still. Who we got?
Yeah. It's a paywall. It's Athena. That's fair.
Mercedes, when she got hurt. Willow.
Money.
Well, now what else?
But they're not getting the support.
Can we get to a fifth? Can we get to a fourth or fifth person?
Willow not getting the support because they rather push Julia fucking Hart because motherfuckers obsessed with a little blonde white chick that's a gothic chick that's 22 years old. That's all they want to like pay attention to. All the way to the top with Tony Khan. They don't want to fucking like look at Athena and Will Nightingale in the match quality they deliver in the main event of a pay-per-view.
Think of the match that Tony Storm was having last year.
They want to push Sky Blue.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. Think of the matches that Tony Storm was having last year in her title reign before she lost it to Hikaru Shida at Dynamite 200. And then think of what she's been as time as Tony Storm. And it's like, now she's a bigger star now because she's doing time as Tony Storm. And like, no, like I find time as Tony Storm stuff amusing. But it is a limited character with limited range that until Mariah May came around, doesn't seem like it had any like place on where it was where it seemed like it was headed. Now it seems like it's headed somewhere, but it's not like it's going to lead to like someplace great. It's going to put them to some, what do you call it, single white female type of shit. So it's like, I don't know, man. We're
just all across it has been linking the women.
I did not know that Jamie Hayter was like the LeBron of this shit. I did not know. I did not know. I didn't know.
Even in WWE with Rhea Ripley, her whole thing is being tied to men. Like, she's not doing compelling work amongst the women. Like, it's like the whole thing with it. I've joked and said she's a fucking manager. Right. And it's let the manager wrestle night whenever she wrestles and shit.
Yeah.
When you were going, I mentioned like she's like China that can work. She's China that can work.
Yeah, and Charlotte Flair's regrets. Like if you look at the 4 horsewomen, you know,
Bailey looks like she's cooked.
Bailey looks like Klay Thompson out here, and she's out, and they're both from California too. But but
California legends that are washed because of leg injuries.
But yeah, man, like there's just like no. Like seemingly like
Charlotte's wash.
We peaked.
I don't know, but the thing with Charlotte is like because the match she had this year is like, is she watching? She's fucking lazy as hell. Is she like fully into like because of her roots and the people that she knows, whatever else? Is she fully just like indulging in full on organism?
How can you stay motivated when you're in that environment and there's very few contemporaries that can go at your level?
I don't know, but I see but until recently it seemed like, you know, Bianca and Becky still kept that energy. Bianca just recently has kind of been like, I don't know what the fuck's happened. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm not burying her like that, but like I'm still trying to figure out like you're right. I'm trying to figure out like what is the next step for her other than being in this whole thing of like, you know, damage control versus the opposite side of the babyface on the opposite side of that.
I don't want to play the like game too much, but when it comes to like Bianca, they've been basically like fumbling the bag the entire time.
That's true.
The fact that she's not the top star a la Becky in 2015, 2016, whatever that was. 2018. The fact that she's not. Yeah, I'm drunk. But, you know, the fact of the matter is that she's not a la The Rock, the top star in all of wrestling, means that somebody has fucked up royally. Like, literally, when I was watching War Games this past weekend, my girlfriend was like, and keep in mind, we're not watching WWE week to week. We watch like monthly, if that, you know, maybe not when there's a Saudi show. And she was like, oh yeah, I mean, like Bianca like headlined WrestleMania. And I was like, that was 2 years ago. And she was like, oh, well, what have they done with her since then? And I was like, nothing. They made her lose to Becky Lynch. She's not a top star. She's like, she's not? And I'm like, yeah, not really. And the fact that, like, you know, if you're Charlotte and you're keeping it a buck and you're trying to work with this girl, but you realize that, you know, the powers that be, AKA Vince McMahon and whoever else, don't see her as like a top star because of whatever it may be, including like her skin color, they basically aren't going to push her as a top star the same way they didn't push like Sasha and the same way they didn't push other people. They see her as somebody that is just at a certain level, and they've literally never pushed anybody above like Becky or Charlotte. And
they only got to the Becky shit because of how Becky basically became just like gigantic success off the strength of people being sick and tired of Charlotte being pushed out of everyone's throne.
They were forced into that position.
Yeah.
Literally, the 4 horsewomen, as successful as it was also happenstance because they were kind of forced into those situations. This is a company that is male dominated, and for better or for worse, they don't really want to go with women. Evolution's one of the greatest shows they've ever done.
Yep.
They've never followed up on it.
Yeah.
Now I'll move it to AEW. Like with Sky Blue being tried out there every week. I don't know if this is
every fucking week.
I don't know if this is a situation because she wants to
trash.
lose. Is she's able to lose or whatever it is?
Like,
right?
I'll go out there and jog while being on TV. You don't think there's another mother? You don't think there's 5 other motherfuckers that have peeped that game and will be willing? You mean to tell me Red Velvet didn't realize I'll go out there be good, actually competent in the ring, and actually like be dynamic in the ring and job and get over while doing that? You don't think she's figured that out either?
I would do that too.
Like you would
She's
hope.
the only one.
You would hope she's figured that out.
I woman in the backstage at AEW.
You would hope she's not alone, right? However, they push her out there to the detriment of like seeing their whole entire women's division turn over. Britt Baker's a ghost now. Thunder Rosa doesn't exist anymore.
Basically,
I thought she was coming back soon.
Jamie Hayter's injured. I saw Thunder Rosa put out her advertising for All In next year, and I just fucking laughed. I was like, all right, man, whatever. Like,
where the fuck is Riho?
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
With the
so
pipe.
it's like there's been nothing rolling at all. Like, and then Tony Khan like kind of he pays so much money for Saraya, and like Saraya's kind of like she's a topic that's I don't think she's going to get drafted. She'll probably come up in the lightning round.
Yes.
But I feel like she's worth mentioning here, where it's like, yo, you spent all this money on Saraya, and it's like, she can't fucking wrestle. So it's like, was it John Moxley? Was it Chris Jericho that convinced you to do this? Like, I don't understand why we're committing these resources to her, and it's a nice story. She comes back after all these years and the neck injury and being told she had to retire, and she comes to Wembley Stadium, but it's like, y'all put the fucking belt on her. But I'm like, yo, you don't realize like the level of wrestling. Like, is there no objective? Hold on, James. Is there no objective assessment of their actual production and skill level in the women's wrestling division? Like, is it just like,
nope,
they're women, they're all the same? Yep. Like, that's how they treat these people. They don't even treat them like humans. Cause we talk about dudes and we talk about niggas that's sorry, and then we be talking about niggas that's good. And but women, it's just like, oh, it's women.
Yeah.
We all just have to be, oh, it's awesome.
That's
like, no.
That's the Josh Smith gimmick.
It's toxic positivity. Like, this is the shit. This is like the kind of shit when we talking about, or I ain't gonna say the name of some of these places that like, I moved the microphone.
It's a paid show.
I'm not going
Wrestle
to
Joy.
Like, bury people that that I feel like are misguided, but are ultimately trying from a good place. But like, I find it misguided just off rip, just fundamentally, because like, if you are going to only talk about positivity, then you are not setting your place towards subjective objectivity in the forms of like people's opinions. You are basically saying like, I'm only going to say one part of my truth. Right?
Wrestle Joy.
Because sometimes
shout out to them.
I'll say it. That's me. I'll own it. 5 drinks in, 10 shots.
So the thing for me is like, if you are not watching women's wrestling around the world, I don't know how you have a gauge for what's good around the world in terms of women's wrestling, outside of seeing like, I see this and I like it, right? And if you see this and you like it, and that's cool. But like, are you actually discerning about it? Are you actually like having the same like appraisals of this stuff that you are actually having for the men's side of this stuff? If you are not, then you are not doing these women. You are not doing these women a justice, because they ain't gonna get better if you are just going to treat them and infantilize them and treat them like, oh, they're the best you can. Like, trust me, I was there. Like, before the Horsewoman came around, I was one of those people that thought like there was a level, there was a certain level they could reach and they could not reach any further. And then all of a sudden Charlotte Flair came out the sky and I was like, what the fuck is this? Then there was a Sasha Banks, then there was a Becky Lynch, then there was a Bayley. And then, then you see Kyrie, and then you see Asuka, and you see Io. And that changed my pro wrestling fandom life. And I'm looking around and I see, the Jamie Hayters of the world. I see the Chris Statlanders. Shout out to Chris Statlander. Right, and I see them. Yeah. I see them go out there and ball, regardless of whatever the situation is. And it's like, for me, it's Serena Deeb when she's healthy, Athena when she's healthy, Willow when she's healthy,
Carl Sheeta,
yeah. And I'm just like Riho, and I'm just like, hey man, like, y'all have a collection of talented women here. You actually can do Toni Storm when she's on her shit, and like, I just see this stuff, and I see the Toni Storm stuff, and I see what she was doing when she was interim champion. I enjoyed those matches. And then I see her move on into the, WWE-ism stuff, the Toni Storm stuff. And I, like I said earlier in the show, I find it amusing or whatever else. But I just saw you in this fashion with Saraya, and you had to prop and carry Saraya, you and Ruby together, because she can't wrestle for shit no more. And like, you had to devolve in all these tactics, all the kinds of cheating. And now you're doing cheating in the form now with by throwing fucking shoes at people or whatever else. And it's like, quite frankly, I'm over it. And like, I need you to like go back to being the wrestler you were in the ring before. And if you want to still do your character stuff, throw it here and there. Cool, no problem with that. But I need the matches to match. Mm-hmm. And like, with AEW's women's wrestling, so many of the matches this year have not matched. And like, the idea that they decided to go to Wembley Stadium and have her family full of problematic motherfuckers come out and bigots come out to the Freddie Mercury, that infuriated me. And then she won the title.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Bro, I had no idea. Like, bro, like, I was like, yo, there's no way Saraya's gonna win the title. Don't worry about it. They couldn't go to Wembley Stadium without booking her. That was my whole perspective, right? But then they let her fucking win. And I was just like, I was embarrassed when I saw that shit. I was like, hold on, what? Like, is there no proper assessment of skill, of talent, of anything in the women's wrestling? Like, Spear from Tony Khan, like, does he not get it?
Yeah, and I get, you want to push.
Yes,
like
he does not get it. I'm answering. He does not get it.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah.
I get you want to push the local talent, and there was a big difference between Will Ospreay's reaction and Soraya's reaction. And then there's
and you were there.
Yes, I was there, and there was a huge difference between their in-ring performance as well. I know that's not quote-unquote fair, but if you're going to push a top star from the country, push somebody who can actually work.
Yeah, and I think also, like, it's a difference between, like, if she had just came in and whatever, been around a month and it happened for her. The thing was, like, she had just been in that thing with Britt Baker, and it was one of the worst things in wrestling last year and this year. And, like, for her to move on from that to then do the shit with Outcast, which is, like, her being carried on the mic in the ring in the directions of getting heat by Ruby and by Tony to get that done. And then, like, she wins the belt, and it's like, okay, now what? Oh, she was like within a month. Was it within a month? Within a month, and she was like, oh, so you just did this literally for the show, and now the show's over. Get her the fuck out of here. And now what's she doing? Now she's a sidekick to Ruby Soho, while Ruby and my boy Parker have the romance of a lifetime that I cannot wait to see in the theaters. Thank you, Tony Khan. You gave me something out of this shit.
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, is like, I cultivate this fucking fictional kind of gimmick where I hate women's wrestling, but that's not actually true. The reality is women can do everything that men can do. All Japan Women's proved it. Several peaks of women's wrestling have proved it. They're just as capable and in some ways, capable of doing more. And
hold on, I'm on the floor. I'm going to add on to your point and then give you the mic right back. Women's wrestling, in my opinion, is different from men's wrestling.
Sure.
And I don't by saying it's different does not mean it is worse or inferior. It is a story you are telling in the ring, and women have an emotional way about the way they tell stories in the ring that are more in-depth, in my opinion, than what men come to, because they are more vulnerable and are willing to show themselves and present themselves in vulnerable places that men have not been willing to go there in the ring. Therefore, I find them at times to be more compelling characters. That's the reason why we cover Stardom when we were covering Stardom super heavy, because of the stuff that they were getting into and tapping into with the jealousy and mixed emotions of, this is my friend, but they're in my path, and I don't know how to handle and deal with these feelings in that kind of way. And so when I see motherfuckers like MJF and Adam Cole do that shit, and it looks fucking ridiculous compared to having to see like people like Miyu Yamashita and Yuka Sakazaki go out here and drop each other on the fucking parquet floor in Korakuen Hall in front of me, or see Julia and Shuri go out there in the sumo hall and go fucking nuts. I'm just like, no. This is not real rap.
Bullshit.
This is some Flavor Flav commentator shit.
what was the year-end match between Julia and was it
Julia and Shuri?
Yeah.
Shuri? Okay, give me that match 1,000,000 times out of 10 versus what we got with MJF and Adam Cole at one of the greatest
one of the greatest matches of all time. Yes.
I think this comes with a
and you're
fundamental...
absolutely correct, James, when you say that there are differences and there are advantages. And it's one of those things where, like, for the LOLs and the laughs, I kind of like shit on it. But the reality is, I've been a big fan of Joshi and All Japan Women's for years and years. And the reality is, women's wrestling is just as capable and have been ahead of the curve for years above men's wrestling.
Especially back then in the 90s.
And the fact of the matter is, when you look at American women's wrestling today, and the fact that, like, I gave Bianca and Sasha from years ago at WrestleMania Night 1 5 stars when very few other people did, it tells you the state of what this company is and what this country is when it comes to women's wrestling. Like, it basically fucking sucks most of the time.
It's like we want to laugh at these people because they do a goofy fucking gimmick like Tony Storm, or we think they're so like attractive and everything like that. We just can't get past what our dicks think, like with how like some of the pushes come off, where we see people going up for people and stuff like that.
That was the point I was just gonna make. Like, I feel like with especially wrestling, women's wrestling in America, There are a lot of wrestling fans. Obviously, the majority are men, and they're watching this thing, and they only care about who is attractive to them. They kind of get caught.
Attractive and too fucking young for them to be involved with them to begin with. Like this Julia Hart and Tony and Sky Blue shit that we've seen this year, to me has been fucking disgusting. And like I have not said that shit on air like explicitly, but like y'all have known what I've been pointing at, what I've been like explicitly like, or what I've been implicitly like pointing at is like, y'all out here people out here lusting over these women because they are too fucking young for y'all.
Right.
That's
it's the whole Ric Flair thing, cutting a promo on Rampage talking about, tell all the 18-year-old girls.
18 to 28.
Yo, is that what people are freaking out about?
It is.
Oh, see, I saw people freaking out, but I didn't know what it was about because I don't watch wrestling on Saturday.
Well, the promo got pulled. It was on Rampage.
Fire that fucking bitch. And he's literally probably my favorite wrestler of all time, but fucking fire him.
He ain't got no more match to answer catalog.
Right. And so, I think, fans get so caught up in this gaze of like who they find attractive and their secret kinks and wanting to be with the young gothic girl and the young, girl that wears her hat backward and sticks her tongue out.
They want to be with mommy and Blue Sky.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like they want the muscle mommy and Rhea Ripley right now. Like they want the young ass girl is out here with like the backwards hat or in the the pandas or whatever else. And then like they want Julia Hart because she's a young little goth girl. And it's like, bro, like what is wrong with y'all? Like I understand, like, look, I am not the person, and I have worked on this as far as like not trying to take away the sexual charms of women, because like it's absolutely there in wrestling, as far as like it's absolutely there, and like if they want to be sex symbols, they are more than welcome to. If you want to be Mariah May and Stardom and do that, that's cool. And like the problem is with a lot of what we were watching when we were younger was that
smart enough to like realize.
Yeah, well, one of the things that was a problem when we were in the era of like the Laurinaitis era of booking talent was like the problem isn't that like that there is a sex pot gimmick or a sex symbol. The problem was that all they were sex symbols. If they're all sex symbols, the same thing when people talk about like giants. Like if everybody's 7 foot tall, then there are no giants. Who gives a shit?
Right.
So
like me in Florida, 6'2", giants.
So like when Mariah May comes into Stardom or whatever else, it has more impact than if there were like already three of her ilk already, right?
Mm-hmm.
It makes more sense. Whereas like if there are people that have specific roles in the roster to fit particular characters, whatever else, and I don't necessarily think that like character wise, especially because someone like Sky Blue, because she has no fucking character, she's there, she exists. She's trying to build a character now. She wears
a backwards hat
forever.
She's an indie wrestler from Chicago. That's her gimmick.
She wears a backwards hat and she's young and
so
hot.
Now she's like a tweener now.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing like that's not a character. You know what I'm saying? So like so for me it's been really frustrating to be like, hey man, I've been watching all this stuff and seeing these people and it's like, all right, Toni Storm isn't a fine character that stands out for everything else. Is she ODing right now? She's absolutely ODing right now. But it's working for her right now in whatever, we'll get to the time when it's time for her to have a money match with whoever else. She just won the title back. That's fine. Like, but the part where it's like, we gotta, we're doing this Julia Hart thing, and it's like, all right, so like, what do y'all accomplish actually? Like, all that time y'all spent holding the belt on Jade to get it to Statlander, for Statlander to win it, and then start so she could stop being an alien. And it's like, really nothing. We actually accomplished really nothing character-wise with Statlander, even though she probably is one of our 5 best workers in the company in the women's division. And like she had to carry Sky Blue in Julia's unexperienced asses to get them over to a certain spot, but doing all that fucking basing. And now it's like,
y'all gotta stop being in love.
Now she's off. Now she's off now. So we don't know when the next time we're gonna fucking see Statlander.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we see what she's gonna do with interest with best friends when Orange comes out to defend the international title. It's like, bro, like what was the point of all this?
Women's
nothing? Okay, cool.
Women's AmRes, y'all can get the
fuck out of here.
All right,
terrible. Rich, you're last.
Bring us home for the second round.
Don't be a coward. draft Tony Khan directly.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I got something else.
Tell us everything that you know and draft Tony Khan directly.
All right, man. I'm going to pick with the 4th pick of the 2nd round, collective psychosis.
Oh no.
Preventing the people directly responsible for a second viable nationally wrestling brand from getting into the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame. The Young Bucks are not going in first ballot in the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame.
Yo, should I get a last drink or nah?
There are people that don't care about the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. However, I am not one of them. I think that the Hall of Fame is one of the few institutions that we have that is able to categorize the greatness in professional wrestling because no one's actually taking the time to do it. So with the Bucks not going in first ballot and these old fucking haters winning,
Whatever this was.
I can't fucking deal with that. I loaded up and I saw that shit at 55% and I was like, my first reaction was like, yo, they're gonna go win, so I don't need to go crazy, right? But at the same time, it's just so fucking wrong. And it's like these people are letting things outside of the work rate, outside of the business, outside of the historical significance. They're letting that shit influence hating on a motherfucker.
It is particularly disappointing because it's the wrestlers in the category that fucked over the Young Bucks.
Yeah. The modern day wrestlers.
And it's just like, yo, like, I can talk about things on One Nation Radio and on the FOH Draft and admit where my shortcomings are, where I don't, like, quite get something or, like, see these people. And I'm like, yo, they're great for what they do. It ain't for me, whatever. But it's like these people that get their ballots and they vote and they're like, yo, the Young Bucks are not some of the greatest wrestlers of all time or most influential people or people that had to do with getting the major alternative open in, since WCW in America. Not voting for them, I think, is a slap in the face to the institution and really an affront to their own credibility. And I think these people, by leaving the Young Bucks out, it's like, yo, why are y'all still voting for this thing? Like, we're trying to keep this thing pure. Like we made, like a couple years ago in WWE, we were like, yo, we want to keep these finishes pure. Like, we ain't gonna fuck around with it. We ain't gonna do no disqualifications. We ain't doing no time limit draws. We ain't doing no bullshit aside from the 1, 2, 3 or the submission. But like, I feel like they have fucked the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. And with the Young Bucks, there's just so much they don't like, whether it's, as Leah from Tunnel Talk mentioned, they're girl-coded. I've taken that recently into consideration. Whether it's their style.
It's something I had never thought about until she had mentioned it.
Right. Whether it's their style of wrestling. They can't handle white guys doing lucha libre. They can't handle dudes doing flips, even though motherfuckers been doing flips on national television for 25, 30 years at this point.
No. Before then, this is the beginning of fucking time.
Like, this is stupid.
Unquestionably
stupid.
Edward Capatier was on fucking WWE television in house shows doing all that flippy dippy shit, except locked up to somebody in chain wrestling. There ain't no fucking difference.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you know what? I get it. People have different tastes as far as when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah.
So if you don't like their wrestling style,
sure.
Fine. But if you look at their significance of what they've done for the wrestling industry, you look at a show like Being the Elite that was the driver literally for Ring of Honor storylines. A lot of what happened on there pushed forward what was happening on Ring of Honor. Is responsible for creating All In, drawing 10,000 people with no TV on ROH TV. They didn't run commercial. There was no advertising. It was all off the back of Being the Elite. And then they started a second viable promotion in this country that just had their biggest show in Wembley this past year. And you're trying to tell me that the Young Bucks' success is not a part of why all that's happening.
And what's better yet is almost most people that get in the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame got in off the strip of the level of draw they were, not the level of in-ring worker they were.
Exactly.
It has historically been what's more important is the level of star and draw you were to whatever shows or promotions you were in or storylines you did that helped draw eyes and money to said promotion.
Right.
For the Young Bucks to have been in ROH all them years, to have then draw them eyes with their friendship with Kenny Omega and Cody, to then parlay that into All In. That was the case for them over. They should have been, obviously were eligible. They were first ballot Hall of Famers that particular day. Cody too. When Cody's in next year. Cody's on the ballot this year. He should be first ballot Hall of Famer. We're done here. The conversation's over. So for them, for the wrestlers to be like, to basically say, I don't like the way they wrestled, it's like, motherfucker, that was never the criteria for you voting for people for. Now It is. What changed?
Right. And then again, you want to look at money. Look at all the merch that they've brought in over the years. You know, we went to that Ring of Honor taping in 2017 in Lakeland, and the lines were literally wrapped around the building to meet Kenny, to meet the Bucks.
Another anecdote to that, right? You had motherfuckers that were complaining about Cody was buying pizza for the fans that had to wait in line so long to go see him, and then Cody had to basically send it back up. Fuck you, I'm rich, you're not. Back then, about 5 years ago.
That's what I want to tell
That
you.
was happening. That's the kind of level that we were on with the Elite. Like, we were on some Brian Michael Bendis motherfuckers. Got the new comic book coming out, and the line's so long that we made so much money off of you that we had the willingness to go. We will go feed you. That's how I'm getting that. The full Brian Michael Bendis shit.
Oh my God.
Right? So for me, it's mind-boggling they didn't make it this year. It was like, bro, this is one of the more slam dunk cases we ever had. The matches there, and you know me, like I'm a person. I am not a Young Bucks is my favorite tag team of all time, but it's similar to when 50 Cent was talking about Jay-Z. Like the consistency breaks your neck to where you can't be like, look, bro, they're not my necessarily cup of tea of what I want to see out of tag team professional wrestling, but they have delivered at a level so at a frequency so high and so often that like you got to say, hey, that's them. That's them.
Are they my favorites? They don't want to.
No. And I made an analogy to Rich on the show. It's like, look, bro, my favorite athlete of all time is Randy Moss. I cannot say on air or nowhere publicly that he was a better wide receiver than Jerry Rice. I can't. That'd be fucking lunacy to say that. Mm-hmm. It just is what it is. Like, he's not my taste, but like you look at the history book and it's like, is Jerry Rice and then it's a gap between it is Randy Moss and there's everyone else after that. That's what it is with the Young Bucks. They are Jerry Rice and tag team pro wrestling. I'm sorry.
Look, I'm okay with them not getting in the first year. It makes sense. It's okay. That's happened before.
Like they'll get in. I don't think
they'll get in next year. But it's still stupid. Like, but I resent the notion of there being a second ballot. You are a second ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck happened to the circumstance where you were not going to be on the first ballot if you're a second ballot Hall of Famer? Think of that.
When Perez and Rocca don't get in first ballot, that tells you everything you need to know about the Young Bucks not getting in first ballot. The reality is, tag team wrestling is a secondary class of pro wrestling, similar to women's wrestling and Japanese professional wrestling. Like, that's just how Western fans see it regardless.
Here's my question, right?
Go ahead.
No, let you finish your point.
When it comes to tag team wrestling, it doesn't matter how you break it down. You give me some criteria, and when it comes to Young Bucks, they literally are at the top 5 or number 1 when it comes to whatever criteria you want. You want to give me the top longevity of a tag team that has had success? That's going to be the Young Bucks. They're up there with the Rock and Rolls. They're up there with the Briscoes. They're up there with Legion of Doom. In fact, they've surpassed most of those guys. You want to give me drawing ability? And sure, maybe at their very, very peak, maybe they didn't draw as much as Legion of Doom did in Japan in 1985.
Yeah.
But over the course of their career, what they've done in North America, how they've been an influence, and what they've done through AEW and All In and Ring of Honor, their top end. if you want to give me kayfabe, talk about titles and the Usos and the Hart Foundation and whatever, they have had as many world tag team title reigns and more so than anybody else. If you want to talk about international acclaim, they've done it in Japan, they've done it in Europe, they've done it in South America, they've done it in Asia, they've done it in North America. You want to talk about catalog of great matches. There is no tag team in the history of professional wrestling that has had as many acclaimed, historically acclaimed world title and just general matches as the Young Bucks have had. You go to cage match, you look at what Dave Meltzer's rated, you look at what the general consensus has been. They've had as many classic matches as your top and like all-time performers, whether it's Bryan Danielson or Will Ospreay or Kenny Omega or AJ Styles. They're in that conversation as a tag team. You will not find another tag team outside of the Briscoes that has ever done anything like that. And then when you talk about influence, every fucking tag team that's out there today wrestles like the Young Bucks. Is there a reason for that? I think there is. There is no category that you can show me that they don't literally top end out at, whether it's money, prestige, kayfabe, drawing, acclaim. It doesn't fucking matter. They got the most stars. They got the most money. They got the highest. Literally, with Barry Bloom, they made more money than the fucking Outsiders. They're the best of all time.
Biggest contract ever.
But like I just looking at them, I think I can beat them up.
Yeah.
But it's like,
oh no.
My thing is like
they're not as big as Brody and Hanson and the LOD. Oh no.
My point is like, your favorite wrestler, Shawn Michaels, shut the fuck up. your favorite wrestler, you think Rey Mysterio is the GOAT luchador? Shut the fuck up then. What are we talking about? Like, this kind of stuff is like annoying. It's been so annoying to me to watch as these dudes is like, and I am not like the advocate. I end up in these advocating for them, but I'm not the biggest fan for these fucking guys for the tag team thing. But
I'm not either.
And it's like the way people are judging these books by their cover is like, what the fuck is going on here?
Because they'll give it to you. They'll give it to you in a street fight. They'll give it to you in a cage match.
Right.
They'll give it to you in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Ladder match.
They'll give it to you in a ladder match. They'll give it to you in a 45-minute epic. I don't know what the Young Bucks can possibly do anymore to prove what they offer to people anymore.
Rich, who has the greatest tag team match in the history of wrestling?
The Young Bucks.
Which one?
Who's got the greatest ladder match in all the history of wrestling?
The Young Bucks.
Who's got the greatest match in the history of tag team wrestling?
I would look. I don't know
the Bucks, baby.
I know you're a huge tag match aficionado, but like Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros or cage match. Like I think that's the greatest cage match I've ever seen.
Yeah. When you talk about the greatest tag team cage matches of all time, it's basically like Youngblood and Steamboat versus Kernodle, and then you've got like Triple X versus America's Most Wanted.
Oh yeah.
And guess what? Guess what tops both of those fucking matches?
The June Bucks.
June Bucks. The June Bucks.
The June Bucks.
And like the thing that gets me is like the people that clown on their style or whatever else, and they'll be like, and this is a weird thing that I've kind of like put together with like Ospreay and also the Young Bucks or whatever else is like, in what is now becoming the swerve thing of this last week is like, y'all have all this shit to say about them. But like when Phoenix comes out here and runs these ropes with a kick, or Lucha Bros go out there and have another fucking classic, y'all ain't got shit to say.
That's because they're Mexican.
Who do you think they fucking wrestling?
That's different. They're Mexican, so they get the pass.
Really, if you're Mexican, you like
they're like me.
Like it's authentic. It's authentic Mexican wrestling.
Yeah, that's
bro,
real.
Like it's weird. Like I get what you're trying to say that they're wrestling this appropriated style or else, but like I got news for you, bro. Like all the wrestlers that you like, where do you think they got the wrestling from? I gotta tell you, it wasn't watching Hogan. It was watching fucking Kizakabashi.
Yeah, like. I think
or
that
Masawa or Kawada
I think that some of these voters should turn in their fucking ballots. It should stop voting. It should come out here and stop the cap. It should make their ballots public.
When you say some of those, you mean the active or the former pro wrestlers.
Let's go back in further, right? All them 94 Super J Cup motherfuckers.
Yeah.
What? Eddie. Benoit. Owen.
Sasuke.
Keepin. We don't say shit about them. There was all Mexicans and Japanese wrestlers, and we ain't say shit about, they appropriate these styles and all that shit. We ain't say none of that.
None of it. Like, motherfuckers coming out here lying, out here pissed because these motherfuckers was responsible for putting some shit together that ain't got nothing to do with WWE. Like, let's keep it a fucking stack. Like, they coming out here and talking that bullshit.
Hey.
Like when it comes to these dudes doing flips, when they talking about, motherfuckers like they rather sit in a rest hold for 10 minutes, wrestle like it's 1992 and all this bullshit. Like, nah, man, we moved on to some other shit at this point.
Another point about this, like, we talk about where the game is gone and where it's changed, right? You know how good you gotta fucking be to work a rest hold like that and be a Zack Sabre Jr. You know how fucking good you gotta be at that style to do what he does. You know how good you gotta be to be Danielson or Garcia to wrestle that style, or O'Reilly to wrestle that style and grind motherfuckers out, Shuri and grind motherfuckers out like that. That ain't built for it.
And we don't tell you to get the fuck off the screen.
Right? You gotta be a special breed to be built for that kind of stuff in this day and age.
Better than LOD.
Yeah.
Better than the New Age Outlaws. Better than all those motherfuckers. Better than the Midnight Express. Better than the Rock and Rolls. Better than the Heart Foundation. Better than the Bulldogs.
Talk to him, Callis.
Better than the Hardy Boys.
Talk to him, Callis.
Better than Edge and Christian. Better than the fucking Dudley Boys, who were never that good in the first place.
Better than the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg, Jesse James.
Who did Road Dogg say he was better sports entertainer than?
Ospreay.
No.
He did it also to Bret Hart, too.
Absolutely the fuck
Better
not.
than Brody and Hanson. Better than, the Steiner brothers. All those motherfuckers.
This motherfucker Will Ospreay wrestled in front of a Japanese crowd against a guy that he was bigger than, and people were living and dying whether or not he could survive Shingo Takagi in the Best Super Junior 2019 final. I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about what you find compelling as a sports entertainer or pro wrestler. None of that. You will never be him. You never were him. Get out of the fucking way. Get out of off the fucking microphone.
Better
do your job. Wait, is he still employed?
Yes.
Road Dogg.
And stop talking to us.
And shut the fuck up.
Road Dogg, you can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Better than Triple X. Better than America's Most Wanted. Better than Beer Money.
Machine Guns.
Better than the Machine Guns. The greatest tag team in the history of professional wrestling as of 2023 is the Young fucking Bucks. There's never been anyone as better as them or as good as them.
They're not going to get pushed like it until, they decide to flip the fucking button whenever they come back with their new gimmick and shit. I feel like this is going to be the time where they really shove it in people's faces and really get them mad and shit like that.
A decade ago, you guys started a Facebook group and you said if they're kicking out shit, we're going to rip them to bits.
Yeah.
And guess what? Anyone that is claiming that the Usos or whoever the fuck, whether it's the New Day or whoever the fuck, that they're better than the Young Bucks, they're kicking out shit and we're going to rip them to bits.
They're kicking fuck shit. They're putting out trash.
Let's give him the fuck out of here.
No, you said king that fuck shit. That makes me got but he's also drunk. So
I'm saying what you guys say. That's part of the official rules.
I think these dudes came out here and put in so much work and then they just hated on them. Yeah. Because of whatever reason. Whether they think they're soft, whether it's the CM Punk shit, whether it's Jim Cornette being obsessed with them, whether it's being the Lucha Libre stuff, and these dudes are white.
And you know what?
Whatever.
It's so funny because I can understand they were problematic in a way towards okay,
these bros, they're probably Christian conservatives or whatever. That's what I always heard. But
so is most white wrestlers.
But I've heard they're not necessarily no Trump supporters and no shit like that. So it's they act like these people have done these things, and it's they've been quiet on all these shit. They've never embarrassed themselves. They never embarrassed a promotion. As far as hey, the Young Bucks are this singular thing they're doing. It's nah, they was in there involved with a motherfucker that's volatile and a lunatic. Right. So they happen to get caught up in between that shit.
My main thing is I remember David
Tony
Davis, I remember after Brawl Out, David Davis was wait, see, CM Punk beat up the Young Bucks. I might be in as a fan of him again. CM Punk, and I was like, wait,
Like, why do you dislike the Young Bucks this much?
Why would you dislike the Young Bucks? What did they do? And like, I looked around. I was like, he didn't have an answer. I was like, oh, I get it. Like, they're not work. Like, they exist in this company that you don't want to exist.
Jeremy,
They are a threat.
I hope they buy PWG and kill them
the business.
So all you motherfuckers
That
who
didn't vote the Young
didn't
Bucks
vote for
in.
them, you can get the fuck out of here. All right, let's do rapid fire and get
We
the fuck
in the
out of here because
speed
I'm drunk as fuck.
Speed round.
So
But we actually got to go fast.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins
we're
in
actually
a world title that shouldn't exist.
It shouldn't exist. Fuck you doing?
Seth Rollins is a fucking clown, a bum, and like just personal stories I heard about him. That just fucking stink. He's not a leader of wrestlers. He's not a locker room leader. He's just a guy that's there to suck the fucking dick of WWE.
Oh
and
my
just
God.
do exactly what the fuck they want. I don't think him and CM Punk is compelling in the least, because all he wants to do is bounce on it for Triple H.
Oh
Vince
my
McMahon,
God.
and several other corny sounding motherfuckers. He doesn't inspire a soul. Every time he gets the world title, somebody wants someone else to be the champion.
Dax
He's a
is
fucking
never gonna
bum.
listen to
He
us
fell
ever
off the
again.
fucking Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame ballot again, and he basically come out here with his fake ass world title because, of course, the story of his career, he's not Roman Reigns.
All right.
Seth Rollins.
You can get the fuck out of here.
Wait, I just want to say I kind of like that new title's actual design. Given some time separated, I kind of like the way it looks, but you're absolutely
It's
right.
still fake though.
It's a fucking fake title.
FTR.
Yeah.
Oh,
James.
Bro,
we got James.
We should have fucking drafted FTR.
We got to light them up this lightning round.
But you know why we didn't draft FTR? Because one of those dudes pulled a gun on somebody on the fucking
might
highway.
shoot us.
And the other dude fucking talked so much and started a podcast that was so much failurific. Not like,
Let's get off.
You up next, James.
oh, go ahead. My bad.
I don't know how many episodes we got,
No,
but it didn't last all that
no,
long.
go ahead, Josh.
I mean, all of us collectively are much more successful podcasters than FTR Bald Dax has been. We made a lot more money, historically speaking, than FTR Dax has made when it comes to the podcasting space. And we've endeavored ourselves to the wrestling community much more proficiently than FTR Dax has. But whatever, this man is still asking questions from Tully Blanchard. So, he's doing pretty well for himself, I guess. But at the end of the day, we didn't draft him because they FOH'd themselves. They literally politic themselves out of it.
You calling us, man. You calling us from the Facebook thing, bro.
Oh, my bad. Whatever.
Oh, this man wilding. James, go ahead.
They politic themselves out of a top title run and a top title feud with the Young Bucks in LA on a main event in pay-per-view because they don't fucking get it. Instead, they have become irrelevant.
Yeah. I mean, all the stories you hear about Dax and the politicking and his idea of pro wrestling and getting all this, standing up for Cornette. I mean, Bret Hart cosplay. Like, you can go on and on. There's so much to draft them for.
Their idea of wrestling's not that far off from mine, but they suck.
Hold on. Let James go to
ahead.
the next pick.
And while saying all this stuff about FTR, it's like, God damn, they just on pay-per-view. They had a killer fucking match. It's like they are such a headache, but they're so fucking good that you have to put up with the headache because they're so fucking good. That's the thing with them that makes it annoying. It's like, can't you just be like 10% less good so I can say you get the fuck out of here? But because
They are great.
We're still gonna tell them that. But I mean, like, dude, like, bro, I don't care. Like, if they were 10% less good, I'd be like, I don't care if I never see them wrestle again. I still want to see them fucking wrestle. That's fucking good. Cash is fucking good. So that's the thing that makes them annoying. It's like they're such a headache and they're whiny bitches, but they still go out there and ball. It's annoying. They're the worst kind of annoying. It's like they are just good enough to survive the bullshit that they put people through. It's annoying. It's annoying.
Who you picking?
In 2 years, when they slow down this much, oh my God,
We gonna light their ass up.
We finna 8 pound stomp on that ass. Oh man. I think it's off the board. Rich, I have taught to you. We are in a group with people like the JML, people like JD from Early Retro Class, people like a Niagara Driver, and I've had floated this conspiracy. And because I am drunk, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Responsibility and speculation in journalism be damned. Gato, bring your ass to the stage. Gato, you have Gato, a man that has been so bad at booking that he has fucked up not just his own promotion, but fucked up 2 other promotions with the storylines that have been fucked up. This man was told by his boss to book on his shows for Mercedes Moné to have an IWGP title that will then be defended in Stardom and also New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it will exist in perpetuity. And this man did not want to do that. This man has not been fired. This man has not been reprimanded. This man has done everything but put those women on those shows and do that stuff. And it's been at the cost of the women's promotion that these titles actually more or less show up on more times than not. And it has ruined the main event title scene in Stardom. It has made Stardom this year at the top the worst it's ever been from a storyline perspective, interest perspective, match perspective, all that. Like, you have the IWGP title that existed literally because of Mercedes was going to come in. She couldn't come in at the time they wanted her to. So it was going to go to either Mayu or Kairi. Kairi wins it. She takes it over to Mercedes. Mercedes gets it. Mercedes then drops it off to Mayu. Mayu has held onto this belt. That belt don't mean a goddamn thing. And because of that, she can't be booked to be in main events versus the red or white belt champions and be crucial money drawing matches for people that she could have had killer storylines or matches with along the way. Mariah could have used that. Julia could have used that, especially because of all the draws Julia and Mayu have had. And also the same thing we said for her and Tam. Did not happen all year. You got fucked. Then you get to the IWGP. The Strong Women's title. That was also another belt that was supposed to be meant for Mercedes. She got fucking hurt in the middle match. She went to Willow, then went on to Julia. Julia came over here overseas and has gotten over every time she showed up because she is a fucking star. And meanwhile, she has had these matches with people that are, and these matches are not to the level of the matches she was having for the red belt or when she was having these killer matches with Tam or Tam or Shuri or Maya Yuki or Suzu, and she just can't be put into a thing with Tam, even though her and Tam are now 3-3 tied in in my opinion, one of the greatest in-ring series of all time, and they can't get to a decisive game 7 because they both are stuck in the politics of these fucking belts where they can't have one supersede the other. So you've had basically Stardom's 3 biggest stars, all of them cannot interact with each other, and all of them are some of their best rivals of all time all year long when they all definitely could have used each other at the top of this company when they were trying to build on to this whole thing of building a new generation, having a main event scene, current main event scene versus future main event scene storyline, and it all went to shit because of injuries and also because of these fucking titles that didn't exist 2 years ago that have been in the way and have fucked up Stardom's booking, and now people have gotten hurt, so now it's even been exasperated even more. All this stuff. So, Gato, thank you. You fucked up my favorite promotion all year long. You fucked it up. Thanks, appreciate it.
Get the fuck
out of here. I said he fucked up 3 promotions, not just his own. With Sonata.
AEW, New Japan, and Stardom.
Keep going.
Yo, I gotta go soon, but we're gonna keep on fucking ripping.
He puts on,
oh my god,
Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay
match of the year
versus IWGP US title, and then what the fuck was that? Did this belt exist when Kenny Omega had it? Was it ever defended in New Japan?
No, it wasn't defended in New Japan.
It was not.
Thank you, Jeremy.
It was not. So what the fuck? What are we doing?
Jeff Cobb challenged for it once on AEW TV.
Right.
That was it.
Right. So did Vikingo.
And Vikingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I pronounced Vikingo Like
guys, like
yeah. It's been a mess. Like, and this title has served as basically the number 2 title for New Japan, and it was basically just gone. That didn't help the promotion at
listen,
all.
Gato's booking has sucked this year. Tony Khan's booking has sucked this year. I'm probably voting whoever books for CMLL as the best booker of the year this year. Probably.
In a time
Over
when
Rossi and everybody else.
Abstain.
We're just gonna have to sit and watch Mexican wrestling.
So Josh, I don't know if you know this, but like Bill Simmons, a writer for used to write ESPN.
I don't know Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons,
I'm just joking.
He used to write about like at a point in time, like depending on the year, like a MVP trophy meant like it was a 50-pound trophy. Depending on the year, how great the year, how outstanding, and you'll remember it like when you're old to sit down and slap out the mouth. You'll always remember this, this person. You'll always remember like Michael Jordan in 1996. You'll always remember Shaq in 2000. You'll always remember LeBron James 2012 or 13, right? Like just dominant years, all-time years from people, right? You always remember Steph Curry in 2016, that sort of thing, right? And then there'll be years where it's less than that. And then the one below and lower. And then like each, like the 50-pound trophy is like the big trophy, the all-timers, then 40-pound trophy, 30-pound trophy, 25-pound trophy, 15-pound trophy, 10-pound trophy, and then a trophy where it's like, we just had to get this bitch out this year because that's what we do. It's a historical tradition. Sometimes it's bad years where like somebody got to win this shit, so it's going to be you. So like you look at Booker of the Year this year, we right here in the Magic and Bird era of 2021 and 2022 of Rossi Ogawa and Anthony Khan. And we was out here eating good. When Gato is the 3rd best booker in the world, we're eating fucking good.
Yep.
Right now,
we struggling.
I don't know where we are.
Poverty medium. No. Poverty genre of entertainment.
We broke.
Stomach scratching.
Do I go third
sounds.
Do I go third for the like passion pick?
So Gato,
Yes.
because we're fucking up my 3 favorite emotions in the world. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Josh.
All right. So I thought I had it, but I'm pretty drunk, so I'm gonna fucking find it again. Basically, damn, I fucking lost it. Oh my god, I fucking lost it.
You get out of here too.
Yeah, I need to go pretty soon.
Yeah, you better pick it up.
Better drop them bars.
You better find what you lost.
Oh my god, you guys are crazy.
Make sure you share this link.
Yeah, this is a pretty drunk year.
You share it after you drop more than $1 on more than zero on this bitch. Otherwise, this will expose you.
Look, and whoever y'all give it to, they better not put 0 on this shit either.
I got it.
That's right.
I
It's
found
Inception.
it. All right, so I don't want to jump too far into the depths of what we know without pulling back the curtain too much, but fucking wrestlers who don't want to do jobs.
Oh my god, yeah.
Man.
You guys have fucked up our lives. All right. Jeremy, what was the first year that Zack Sabre Jr. won the the New Japan Cup?
2019.
2019 New Japan Cup.
Oh, it was 2018.
Maybe it was 2018.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
My bad.
That was a prime example of guys that were selfless, that were willing to sacrifice their position to elevate somebody else for the betterment of the company, while also having a sense of self-respect to understand that their positions weren't threatened by elevating somebody else.
Right.
When we look at AEW, as well as WWE, but mostly WWE or AEW, there are a lot of fucking people that don't want to do fucking jobs. I'm not going to peel back the curtain too much, but when you look at AEW pay-per-views and television, and you look at the results,
You see who goes missing for a while.
and you see who goes missing, and you see who loses, and who's only losing in specific like certain genre positions, whether it be like a coffin match or a ladder match or a submission match, who aren't willing to do clean jobs. You can get the fuck out of here because you're fucking up the wrestling industry.
Like, there are people that, like, this entire show exists for, like, collision. Like, Miro wants to fucking disappear. Fucking Malachi Black, Andrade. Like, these motherfuckers, like, want to come out here and be like, yeah, I'm so good, I don't need to fucking do this or whatever. And then you see people that are actually willing to do business end up in higher positions, and then you're wandering around looking like, all right, when is it going to be my turn? And it like, we don't want to see you just dominate everybody, bro. Like, that's not it.
Yeah. Those wrestlers can get the
fuck out of here.
All right, Jeremy, go ahead.
I jumped the gun. I said FTR.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Well, who else do you want to address?
He said, executive decision. We are parking this car right now in this parking spot. That parking spot is fuck FTR.
Jeremy, do it again.
I'm sorry.
Again.
No, I'm sorry. I've done it. Fuck the revival. I'm sorry.
Yes. People's reaction to AEW Wembley Stadium ticket sales.
Woo!
Buddy.
It just started again, too.
Do you mean for
People jumping
2023?
in quick to be wrong as fuck.
Do you mean 2023 or 2024? Because they're selling a lot this
both.
year.
I mean,
They already sold, what, 30,000 this year?
35.
these people have
New Japan would be lucky to sell 30,000 tickets in 2024.
these people have the ego, the confidence, and the delusion of a cornerback that made the Pro Bowl for interceptions, but was a fucking speed bump and got toasted a lot. Like, these people are all time wrong, and then want to double up again and say, "Hey, bro, split that. Let's run that back. Let's run that back.
Let's be more
And
wrong.
it's like, hey, man, you was proven wrong. They've already sold how many tickets? 30 something? How many thousand?
35?
35,000 tickets. We are 9 months away. Y'all doubling down on this.
They're going to do it again.
Yeah.
Are you fucking stupid?
Bro, these people would come in our YouTube comment sections crying, belly aching, talking all this conspiracy level bullshit, this QAnon bullshit, like level conspiracies. These tickets aren't actually selling.
Tony Khan bought 80,000 plus tickets.
People that have jobs in media saying that these shows are only, that Tony Khan is on, and AEW is only expecting to sell X amount, when like these are like the upfronts, and then they open up sections that they sell more tickets, and it was obvious that's what they were doing. And also the part where it's like, to be profitable in Wembley Stadium is not nearly expensive as you think it is. It's just because you saw that WWE did in 1992, you think that it's $2 million to rent the fucking building. It is not.
Fucking Coppinger that was out here affiliated with Nick Khan, out here kicking the propaganda, and a lot of people falling for the propaganda, down to the shit like where even like with the CM Punk thing where they be talking about largest social moment and all this other shit. And it's like, these are not verifiable stats for anything. These are entertainment purpose numbers.
Those are PR numbers.
These are people getting fucking worked.
Yeah.
And look, get worked, but don't come out here and try to say that shit's real.
So night one, 30-some thousand tickets already. What was it, 44 million pounds already? It's already a success. It's already covered the gate. It's already covered the rental.
Right.
So now we're done
It
now.
made $4 million
This conversation is
already.
over with. we're not talking about night one. We're not talking about the first one from this year. We're talking about next year. Next year's discussion. If I hear anybody of any notoriety and come and Rich, because Rich is the person that collects something we need to talk about on One Ish Radio from week to week. There are a few occasions where it's like, hey, Rich, we need to talk about, or we need to add this to the show. It's very rare. Rich has his head to the street, and his ear to the streets more than I do. I try to stay away from these fucking idiots that are polluting my timeline and drive me insane. A few times I actually on my timeline because I'm trying to stay away from getting addicted to my phone, which I already am bad at. So when that shit happens, and it's going to happen over the next 4 months, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. You idiots! They've already made 4 million pounds. This discussion's over with. The rental's less than $1 million. We're done. It's already a profitable show. It's going to continue to sell records or sell more profit. We're done. It's over.
We'll be there in March. We'll be there in April. May, June, July. Motherfuckers wetting their pants, out here soiling their drawers, shitting their pants.
God.
And they coming out here saying tickets are actually sold. Then we're going to be talking about turnstiles. It's all going to be a
the
fucking
turnstile
thing.
count. Oh my God.
It's all going to be a fucking thing.
The only thing I care about is how we get another erroneous number on Will Ospreay's body. That's all I care about. anything involving numbers, anything else involving numbers, I don't give a fuck about. It's already profitable. We're done now. How do we get more inaccurate ink on dumbass Will Ospreay's body? Because that boy is a wrestling genius, but that boy is dumb.
Wait until we get the TV deal. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, we have to cope for another half decade.
So
Motherfuckers response of Wembley.
get the fuck out of here.
I'm just gonna throw it out there, and I don't try to be too much of like a, I'm pretty much like a, I don't know what I am politically.
Oh my God, he is drunk. This man said, I don't know what I am. What?
But let me just say, Ronda Rousey.
Even Charlotte Law knew that I am.
Ronda fucking sucks, bro.
Listen, I loved the first run of Ronda Rousey when she was having these crazy different matches, very similar to like Brock Lesnar in his heyday. But that second run, those matches sucked. They were devoid of
the Bizarro and the Takahashi, zero passion.
They were devoid of passion.
There was none of this.
They were devoid
none
of
of that.
energy and violence. They were literally just a contractual obligation, and they fucking sucked. And also, her politics are very questionable on a lot of different fronts. Won't get too much into that because I'm too drunk to discuss it today. But Ronda Rousey,
Sandy Hook truther.
Well, yeah. Again, too drunk to discuss it.
It's an inside job. What?
Ronda Rousey.
You
get the
fuck
fuck out of here. And she's now in Tony Khan wrestling. God damn it.
But she's really not.
She's not really.
Not
She
really.
might
It's a
have
one-off.
a kid and shit. So
It's a one-off. Well, I
wants to turn the light on. So thanks, Ken.
Shout out to Ken, my dog.
Big Ken.
Big
Ken!
Well, guys, we did a lightning round. I think real quick, let's say what we're thankful for and get out of here.
Oh, okay.
I thought you had to go. I thought you were.
Yeah, man. You said you need to be out by 6.
You had rushing this.
5:42.
Bro, my girlfriend is asking me when to leave, and I'm saying now. So we got another 12 minutes.
Well, I think it's enough
Hey
time.
man, you can't be playing this game about time with women, man. You gonna end up in a bad way. Unless you wrap this
I've
up.
been playing games.
sorry
Oh, go ahead,
I've
Rich,
been
go ahead,
playing
Rich.
games my entire life.
David Finley, yo, sorry ass. Get the fuck out of here. Pretend that 10 minutes of rest holds is more exciting than Lucha Libre.
We already did that.
Tim
Them up.
Thatcher, all y'all motherfuckers get the fuck out of here. Oh, yo, sorry ass motherfuckers.
This man ain't watched Tim Thatcher only wrestle one time this whole year.
Hell.
I haven't watched Tim Thatcher since 2019.
Nah, he watched him on. Remember, he fought Danielson this year, right?
Hey,
Yeah,
so
on
Rick-
Dynamite,
That's
yeah.
funny because I missed that show.
Yeah,
that was
and then he
great.
watched him this year and he's talking that shit. I watched him in Noah every blue. I'm like, okay,
Jeremy
fine,
or
himself.
Rich, what do you think about Soraya?
Oh, no, she got spared because she was a large. She got spared because she's a large point of the women's armrest sucking this year's discussion.
Yeah.
She got
I think
spared.
she might quite be the that's funny. She might be the single worst contract aside from CM Punk ever signed in All Elite Wrestling, based on production and probably likely amount of money and everything. But like Saraya, now that she's lost the championship, I can't really be too upset with her. Like, it's like she's there. It's whatever. I don't care. They're not going to push her seriously again. So
we hope.
we hope.
Hey,
But Wembley,
There's Wembley,
Wembley's once a year.
Wembley,
She might get it. But as Jeremy mentioned, we should probably talk about what we're thankful for.
Yeah.
Kick it off, Rich.
Oh, man. So I'm thankful for a lot. I had a rough year. I moved away from all my friends. I lost my father. I have been, I would say, having a more raised profile this year, like amongst the, just being on Twitter. I sent out a innocuous tweet, and it's like, 500
They on your
likes.
ass.
They on my ass. Like,
They on your ass.
Like,
They on your ass.
it's a lot, bro.
What tweet did you send? I don't know.
Any tweet he sends and people will respond to him some random ass shit. What about this from 3 months ago?
Yeah.
Nigga, what?
Yo,
It's
I
just
don't give a fuck about those fuckers.
Bro, it's a lot, bro. I'm thankful for the community that is paying for this show, that is listening to the shows with One Nation Radio, with Social Suplex, with All Things Elite, and all our other shows that are just like, they've been with us from like, the muck. And even now, as we're seeing, heightened success, and we're not where we're ultimately going to be or anything like that. But I'm thankful for those guys that like really hold us down, like, and talk about us in Reddit forums and like, and spread the word of what we're doing. And as far as like, I talked last year about us not having, a big backing by F4W or Fightful or anything like that. But man, every year it's like we get a little bit closer to the ultimate goal. I'm thankful for my friendship with Swerve. Like, we talk a lot about, wrestling and his trajectory and everything like that. And I think, he's someone that I think should get everything that's coming to him in wrestling. Like, as far as like working hard for it, wanting to do it, wanting to, embodying what it means to be in AEW and really understanding the goal and everything like that. And at the same time, being a solid businessman, knowing what he's doing. I'm thankful for the elite that have, even in their selflessness, that is like annoyed us at times and stuff like that. It's like, they stood on business. They was not going to leave the fucking company they created. And they were like, you can take that shit elsewhere, CM Punk. We gonna be here, and you can do whatever the fuck you gonna do, but we're not fucking with you, one, until you want to humble yourself. Apparently he had to humble himself elsewhere, so whatever. But I'm thankful for you guys doing the show. We're all doing this in person. It's a blessing. I'm thankful for my in-laws letting us host this, and I think it is just 7 years of doing the FOH draft. It originally started just like as a way to shoot on WWE because we fucking hated it.
The original show was called the WWE FOH Draft.
Was it?
Yes.
Yep.
But wow. It is since turned into like this special paid show, and like,
should have charged for the first year.
Right.
We should have.
And the cool thing is, it's like, this year, like, I needed some of that money this year when we paid it out. When we paid it out.
Paid it out. My boy is drunk.
Yeah. Like, when we paid it out. Like, I was like,
he's from the heart. He's from the heart.
The FOH.
That drunk ass heart.
That shit comes in handy when it's like, I need an extra X amount of dollars to make sure a bill is paid, like in a certain area. And it's like, I appreciate all you guys that are listening. I appreciate you guys doing this shit with me. And it's just like the mission still continues. Like, I don't know what the ultimate destination is, but it's like, I wouldn't rather be doing this with anybody else. So.
Yeah, I guess I'll go next. Like, I'm very thankful for, like, even though, this was a down year overall in general for pro wrestling, I'm still thankful for the things that I did witness and experience and like enjoy. Like, I started this year. I was in Japan. I was in Tokyo.
Nihon James.
yeah.
Dr. Joshi.
Like, I end up seeing, I saw fucking, like, bro, the things that I saw it would start this year was fucking wild. Like, I saw, in Oda City Gym, I saw Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada tag team the main event of New Year's Dash in person. And I got a picture of this shit to show you that I was fucking there. Right? That was fucking awesome. I was there to see the homecoming show of Tam Nakano as she on her way to months later then become the Red Belt champion, and like one of the great like babyface championship chases from nothing into top star level things that I've ever seen in pro wrestling. And it's like been a absolutely incredible journey to watch over these last 4 years. And then to come back and like to say that I'm thankful. I'm thankful for all of y'all to be able to do this for now a 7th year. I am thankful like that I'm in better health. Like I don't know if I've told y'all. I don't think I've ever just. I probably maybe just to Rich, like just on not nearly as in depth. Like I had a recent conversation with Jason actually on was it Saturday? No, Tuesday. And like I was explaining to him like yeah, man, like, you know, I identify like growing up as like just being an athlete. Like it's what I was my entire life. And like that was taken away from me for a long time. And like the back issues I had and the kind of stuff was like debilitating. And I just didn't feel like myself. And I didn't feel like myself. And then like, you know, looking at pictures at your wedding, and for the people that are listening, I'm pointing at Rich, I'm pointing at Jeremy, and to see pictures of myself, and it's like
maybe Josh soon.
I like this. I looked like this soft big dude that had never lifted a weight or touched a weight or did anything athletically. Like I looked like a negative stereotype of what a pro wrestling fan was. Not to say that I cared about that point, but like that's just what I looked like, and I was like in a bad way in my outlook on life for a number of years. And like, luckily over the last year and change, I've been able to change that around or whatever else. And like, I'm in a better headspace. And like, I feel like, even though you, Josh, or sorry, I did it again where I'm looking at Rich, I'm saying Josh. It's the second time I've done this show. Like,
I do that
like,
sometimes.
Even though you've moved or whatever else, like I feel like our relationship is still strong, and like the relationships that you know that like since you ever known me that you knew that I've held dear, like I feel like I've kind of like regained them because I was just in this kind of like haze of going through life without like reaching out to anybody, and like I'm just in a better space. I'm in better spirits, and you know the wrestling has not wowed me the way it has, except for the C2 of late, but like. I'm still optimistic on my life, and like this stuff isn't gonna, whether it's down or up, whatever we just talk about it, but like it's not affecting my mood or whatever else, because this is all I had to rely on for joy at a certain point in time in life. Like quite frankly, like I was in a bad way, in a way that I hadn't realized it until just recently, and like I've made a lot of connections with people that I never thought I would have or whatever else, because of the fitness thing, or whatever else, to be able to like rehab my back. So. I'm thankful for a lot. Like I feel like a new lease on life. So that's what I'm really thankful for. And I'm still thankful for the wrestling. It just got to get better. And it's going to come along because we got this content of classic, and boy, that thing cooking. So,
yes, sir.
So we're on the way. So we're on the way to bigger and better things. And, like, quite frankly, like, depending on how this CM Punk thing goes or whatever else, we'll see how it goes the rest of the year. I feel like next year's pro wrestling will absolutely have to be better than this year's wrestling we've gotten. So, I'm thankful for 2024 as well, going forward.
Young boy.
All right, guys. I've been challenged in the Largo Loop chat that all of you guys need to give me chops. So we're going to do it fucking right here. Rich.
Wait, what?
Yep, it's happening fucking right now. Rich, get the fuck up and give me a fucking shot.
I gotta record.
Right now.
I gotta record this shit.
Yeah, this is recorded. This is documented for all time.
This is supposed to be documented.
I'm 5.5
about
This man wants us to chop him across his chest.
I'm 11 drinks in. Fucking chop me.
11 drinks?
Yeah, 11 drinks.
Hold on. You gotta drop the mic, Josh. Otherwise, you gonna fuck
Go
around.
ahead.
You guys right to my Here we go. I gotta do it. That Kobashi.
Don't chop the nipples. That's nothing, bro. Give me another one. Fucking let's go. Hard.
Go,
Bro, give it to me hard.
You better hit him. You better chop him. All right,
hell yeah.
now,
Let's go, James.
Jeremy gotta go first. Or Jeremy gotta go next.
Jeremy, let's fucking go.
I've been waiting for this a long fucking time. I'm gonna continue to wait.
Oh, that was way harder.
All right.
Fuck, that hurt.
Now, yo, I'm about to put this mic down. I've been waiting to do this for a long fucking time. I've been waiting to drop shots for a long fucking time. You've been behind the shot forever. You ready for this?
Whether you do it hard or not, I'm going to sell it the fuck out of it.
America, are you ready? Are you ready? I'm about to chop the shot this mic.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if y'all heard that, but I chopped the shit out this man. I didn't give him 100%. I gave him probably like 90. But boy,
Let me give it back.
yeah.
All right, let's go.
You can chop down. No. See, here's the thing.
Oh my
Here's the thing. Look, I want to chop Johnson forever, boy. Yeah, I need that video.
Oh my gosh.
This is one of the greatest. This is one of the greatest Christmas gifts that anyone's ever given me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
This is amazing. Jeremy.
Oh man.
Oh,
you
my-
heard the sound of that chop, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sound like Roosh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, so let me end the show with this.
No.
We still
Are we
got
still recording?
Jeremy.
Are we still recording?
We're
Yes.
still recording.
Are we still recording?
No, video's done.
You still recording? I want to see the chest print. I put in that.
I didn't get a chance to say what I'm thankful for.
Yeah, say what you thankful for.
All right, let me plug my headset in because it fell out because James chopped me so fucking hard.
I like these shit moves. God damn it.
Let me be very clear here.
Oh my god.
James,
I think you got the perfect promotion for the FOH draft now. We can say that video.
You hear the chop.
that was definitely hard, but it was softer than Tony Donati. It was definitely softer than Kelsey, whatever Kelsey's last name is. So that was like the third hardest chop I've ever felt.
Yeah.
But it fucking sucked. Rich was the softest I've ever had in my entire
He was
life.
being nice.
He was being light.
nice.
You know,
He was being nice.
the worker handshake, he's being light.
I gave you the 90% deal.
The softest chop I've ever felt, and the loudest, but the softest is Matt. Matt Seidel. The loudest chop, but the softest.
I'm guessing he picks a peck as opposed to going to and hit you in the sternum.
Bro, he's soft, but he's loud. It sounds loud, but it's soft as fuck. Anyways, I appreciate you three guys for being my friends. Rich and James, I remember you guys literally from WrestleMania. What was it? 20? What was the WrestleMania where Chris Jericho wrestled CM Punk?
Well, 28.
28. My fault.
I wasn't even friends with you guys yet, but I remember looking over at the main center table at Wing House,
Wing House,
and Rich fucking standing up in a group of people being like, "This is gonna be better than Randy Savage and Rick Steamboat." and I guess maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but very shortly after that, we became friends. And
SummerSlam, right? That same year,
we became friends. Yeah, SummerSlam, the first when Brock Lesnar wrestled Triple H. Maybe that's why I like that match. I don't know, but probably a year later, I got acquainted with Jeremy, and I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everyone that's involved with the Social Suplex Podcast Network, the people that have been associated in the past, the people that are still associated, those who will come back because we are the fucking best.
The best.
The best. And everybody that listens to us, because you know what? Our numbers have gone up internationally. Our numbers have gone up domestically. They have gone up listenership-wise, and it's because we are giving you guys an authentic, true, real experience. And I think that's something that's lacking in the wrestling space. And I appreciate you guys giving us your time, giving us your attention. And I'm looking forward to the future because guess what? We got shit coming down the pipeline that is going to blow your fucking mind.
Yeah, to wrap it up, I'll echo a lot of what you guys said. I'm very thankful for all of you guys. We've been friends since like 2014. And to think that it all started with a random tweet, two dudes just talking about Raw on Twitter. And then we happened to live like 20 minutes from each other. And that kicked off this whole friendship and this whole network and this whole thing. So very thankful for all you guys and your friendship. I'm thankful for a year of marriage. Thankful that I was able to travel and go to Europe and go to Wembley and be a part of one of the biggest shows. And thankful I got to meet Ricky and Clive and Murray in person this year. They took me to this awesome Indian restaurant in Scotland. Food was amazing.
Not better than curry leaves in Tampa.
It was. I've been to curry leaves. It smoked curry
Nah,
leaves.
it doesn't smoke curry leaves.
Smoked.
Thankful for everybody who listens and supports us, who's been supporting us from day one. I saw a tweet that was like, the FOH was like my first podcast that brought me in. So I know there's a lot of people who jumping on this show, or they look forward all year to this show. So a lot of the longtime supporters, you know who you are. MJSPR, Rambones, Slam Pig, Dr. Delaria,
Gentlemanly Dragon,
Howard Schilling. There's so many of you. I can't name drop you all, but I appreciate y'all for being in the Discord, being the Squared Circle group, sending in questions on Reddit, Twitter, and just helping us grow. And like Josh said, we're planning. We want to do bigger and better stuff for y'all next year, and we're gonna be here giving y'all that reel and. Looking forward to doing this again next year.
Yeah, man. The FOH is always, the end of the year tradition, 7 years running straight. And, this is crazy that we've figured it. We've managed, aside from the COVID year, to all do this shit in person. Like largely we haven't called this thing in. Like this is like an authentic experience. And I hope you guys you get your drink on while you listen to this and feel kind of where we're coming from this, because it's not all new stuff we're saying. This is like an emphasis on a lot of the stuff that we've covered throughout the year.
One thing I wanted to say real quick, before we ever started a podcast network, before we ever did anything, we've very been lax on it, and it'll probably go by the wayside. But we had a Facebook group, the Wrestling Squared Circle, and recently one of our top contributors, Dion Murphy. We appreciate everything that you contributed to that page, everything that you contributed to our network, every time that you blew us up and shared our posts, and rest in peace. We really do appreciate you and appreciate everything that you did for our group.
Yeah, man. That shit is like when you see it, like a couple of days ago, it was like Josh was like, "Yo, Dion Murphy died," and I wasn't like particularly like close with Dion aside from outside being in the group. Yeah. Him sharing the One Nation Radio Live stuff, the post that he would put in, just talking to us, and it was like, yo, we lost someone that we met through our wrestling stuff. Like, and this isn't like the first person that in the wider realm that we lost, but it's like, we've been doing it so long. We've unfortunately had to deal with like the other side of life creeping into this. And big shout out to Dion. We'll just like, we'll keep doing the stuff that you fuck with us for. And that was really like tough to hear about.
Yeah.
No, it actually was for real. And we appreciate you immensely.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers with your family, Dion.
Yeah, I think, when you start doing this kind of stuff and, you're just trying to find a way to try to, get people's attention or people's, just people's attention. And, when we started the thing and, our community was a lot more tight knit back then, 6-7 years ago in that particular page. On Facebook, and like to have people actually like care what you have to say and be one of the first people to care about it in that kind of way. You don't really think about it in that kind of way, but like over time, it's like this person kind of believed in you and wanted to hear what you had to say about something that he could have just as easily gotten from a million other people. And so I appreciate that, and I never really thought about it until hearing the news. And it's sad, and I wish the best to his fans and to his friends and family.
Big shout out to Howard Schilling, who
definitely
checked on me for weeks upon weeks after everyone else like kind of stopped. Hit me up like say, "Hey, Rich, how's it going? Your dad passed, and I just want to check on you." Like checking on me kind of until this day. So big shout out to Howard Schilling, and he's a real friend. So if you're hearing this, Howard, like, it means a lot, what you did for me. And, everyone that's on Twitter that engages with us in a positive manner, the YouTube comments, the FOH audience, This is your show. Like, we do this shit to entertain ourselves, but largely we do this shit to make sure y'all got something dope at the end of the year, even if you're having a tough time during the holidays.
Traveling, all that kind of stuff, yeah.
Like last year I did the FOH, and then I immediately went into getting COVID like after, and I was depressed last year, and I was like, damn, at least I got like this little show, you know, to listen back to, like with my friends and all that. And I was alone, and it was a lot. It was hard. So like, if you're listening to this and, you know, you're, you know, kind of going through something, whatever, you know, we just hope that we can kind of be there to fulfill, you know, the entertainment itch per se. We're never going to fix it all the way, because, you know, we're talking about wrestling at the end of the day, and, you know, wrestling goes as far as wrestling goes. But we're all real people behind this all wrestling stuff. And I think this is, you know, a cool community, and we appreciate, you know, what you guys put into the show monetarily, and, you know, being in the Discord all year and really contributing to this show, because like we were kind of scrambling. I think like it was like, yo, what are we really going to draft this year and stuff like that. But we got a lot of great suggestions. Shout out to Rambones and Sir Sam and stuff like that. So it's you know, I wouldn't rather do this with anyone else, and I think that you guys, you know, I just appreciate y'all a whole lot.
I appreciate you guys too, and I appreciate
you gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I gotta go in like 2 minutes.
You gotta know you had to be out of here. I thought you said 6, you need to be out of here.
Well, I pushed it out a little bit, but I do appreciate you
That's
guys
crazy.
for real. You
Hey,
guys,
hey, you can't be saying that on air. You can't be saying you pushed it out. That's crazy.
why?
That's crazy.
I pushed lots of stuff out.
That's wild.
Well, on that note,
You would be
Let's wrap it up.
you'd be surprised by the stuff I
really, we
push
did
out.
this whole show. We did this whole show, and we were drinking whatever else. We had not one time anyone mentioned that Rich is out here in front of us with his bare feet out here, his toes out in front of us. let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here. On this out 24.
Riddle life.
2023.
You
can get the fuck out of here.
The most wonderful time of the year. Although, let's be honest, around the holidays, things really add up. But here's the good news. Only at Verizon, you can get a single line for $50 per month when you switch and bring your phone. So, while ice skating for two is definitely costing more, here at Verizon, you can save. Gifts for your third cousins? Steep. A single line with Verizon? Not so steep. A real tree? Pricey. A single line with Verizon? Less pricey. Flights to see Mima and Pops? Those are up. A $50 per month single line? That's down. Even a trip to the Atlanta Holiday Market will cost you more. But with Verizon, you can switch and bring your phone for just $50 per month for a single line on unlimited welcome, with autopay plus taxes and fees. All this to say, during the holiday season, when everything is costing more, you can get more for less right now at a local Verizon store. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G, 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.